Just a podcast that talks about anything. This is What Time Is It podcast with Maii, Briggs, and Mehrdad.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Yo, everybody, tuning in, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, so Mehrdad wasn't able to, make it last week, so yeah,
It's been a couple of
it's all good.
long weeks.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
I'm doing.
What's new? What's new? It's going.
It's going for sure.
So yeah, a lot of crazy things happening in the world right now. A lot of crazy things. So look, a while ago we were playing Among Us, me and Maii. So story short, I fed her to the lions.
Really?
It was her first
I-
time playing the game.
For
So
for a second, I thought I was
yeah,
good
explain
at
to the
it.
world what happened, Maii. Explain to the world
For a
what
second,
happened.
I thought I was good at it, but then at the same time, when lucky me, I got imposter in the first game playing with these wonderful people,
Of
and
course.
then it was my first time. It was the first kill of my first game, and then three of them saw me right away. And I'm just like, oh shit.
You
And
know
then
about that
Who are
game?
you playing with?
Briggs's team
I
or
have a
like
group,
group
yeah.
somewhere.
We have a
Oh, okay.
group.
Yeah,
So
and I'm used to playing with either just like like the chat people, and if it's on public, and then I'm used to playing with my friends. So I kind of know who they are and I know how they
yeah.
talk and stuff like that. But that was literally probably just very lucky of me to get imposter first on my first game and then got caught on my first kill by three people.
That
And
was
then once when we were discussing, I just literally felt like I was this like little tiny ant of compared to like all of these people trying. I just felt like I was eaten alive, pretty
These people
much.
are professional
So
liars. Don't worry about it.
bro. You
they're so good. I
so good.
just, I just like,
Yeah, so good.
all I said was like, I'm sorry, I'm new to this map, and I was by the oxygen on the left side. I said,
I mean, for them, that
well,
was enough reason to call you the imposter.
I
Just by
know that's why I,
just by
yeah.
saying it's my first time.
It was
Yo,
crazy.
that was fucking
It was
crazy.
crazy. It was my first time though. That's why I'm just like I don't know what to say anymore because I'm already telling the truth. But at the same time, I can't tell them that yeah, you caught me. Because I didn't even know that you can do that on um Among Us, where you wouldn't know who the imposter is after the imposter got ejected. That's why I was like, oh shit, I just gave it away. So I'm just like, whatever. Maybe next time.
Listen, the
I'll be
first time
better next time.
I played with this, because it wasn't Among Us, it was I was playing Dota with a couple of friends, and are the one who were invited me. Let's play. Let us introduce you to the Dota and the whole shenanigans. And a funny thing is, after 20 minutes, they kicked me out of the game because I suck so bad.
Not that mean though,
Yeah, just
Mehrdad.
It was a
That's
sweaty game.
It
Let's
was
call it
a
at that.
sweaty game.
Let's call it at
It
that.
was just, I think because it was they were already trying to close out the game, and then I came in where they were, like, okay, it's time to go. This is like the last two games, so let's give it everything that we can.
Let's
And then
give it
I'm just like,
everything.
okay, dang.
Yeah, if you know, like those people were like, they put in a significant amount of hours onto that game. So you gotta expect they're gonna bring your A game.
Is the hype
So
still as much as before, or it's dying down now?
what?
Is the hype is it still there? The hype for the game.
Um, yeah, dude, it's actually still there, bro. But there's a new map coming out. Hey, yeah, boy,
Mm.
Swaz, how's it going? Um, yeah, the hype is just it's still there, but I don't know, man. I think somewhere down the line it's gonna be mediocre. But although the they're gonna introduce a new map, but I think it's not gonna be enough. Maybe let's give it a year before it dies down. But I think for now, it's the hype is still there. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe a year from now, maybe some people might not play it anymore.
What
But
was
yeah,
the other game? It was very hyped. Fall Guys. You guys
Fall
played
I
it?
Guys. What? Yeah, you
oh
guys ever play that one?
no.
I played it like a
Um,
couple of times. It's most the silliest game I ever played.
it's
Very
silly.
fun.
It's like one of those Japanese games where they have an obstacle course where they have to
Yeah.
complete it. It's kind of that one, but instead of like humans, you play like this little bean, and that is your character. That's your avatar. And yeah, you just play that one. You just play that game. You complete the obstacle course, and that's about it. It's like the last man standing. It's pretty much it.
It was fun though.
Right?
Like I came very close to winning the whole obstacle, but somebody pushed me down the. I don't know what was it, but somebody pushed me. I raged after.
Yeah, I know. You ever play that game, Mai? You know that game?
So here's one thing about me. I cannot play a game with too much hype. I'm not before when Ragnarok and no, what's the other one?
There's a lot of them. MU,
Oh,
Gunbound.
whatever.
Yeah.
The Counter Strike. So I tried playing Counter Strike, right?
Uh huh.
Um, I think it was too much hype for me that I know if I'm going to give myself more time playing, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna make me addicted to it. I know
Of
myself.
course.
If I get addicted to something, I'm not gonna sleep. That's how I was with Animal Crossing. I know it's like two different types of games, but I tried playing Left 4 Dead. I
Mm-hmm.
knew that if I'm gonna continue playing, I'll be addicted to it. So, and at the same time, I'll be very into it that I'll get aggressive about it.
You're gonna get aggressive about
So,
it, like you're gonna strangle
so
people.
okay, here, well, to myself. So when I was playing the
Uh
first
huh.
time, when I was playing Left 4 Dead for the first time, I was in an internet cafe waiting for my next class in college
Okay.
with some of my blockmates, and then they asked me to play with them, and then I just found myself literally screaming and cursing in public, which was not really me. So I just said, no, I don't think I can play games like this.
I think
it it brings it brings out the demons in
the demon in you,
out.
the demon
Yeah.
The
inside,
real person in you.
the real person in you. That's that's what it is. But
Uh,
But yeah.
I think. What do you guys think about addiction? I mean, if uh, how do you guys, how do you define addiction anyway? But some people are addicted to doing good, addicted to helping other people, in a positive way. We're not gonna focus on the opposite because it actually outweighs the good, the positive side. But if what do you guys think about you know being addictive to maybe just helping out people without helping yourself?
I kind of know what you're talking about because
Yeah.
there are people who has an addictive personality. Like I have a colleague of mine that has a very addictive personality. and he does something, he just want to go like 200% and doesn't stop, does the same thing over and over again to perfection, and it
Yeah.
become addicted to that particular without sort of let lose sight of the other stuff as well. Uh, yeah, it's
Hmm.
balanced. For me, it's balanced. Never either it's a good or a bad thing. It should be always about balance.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, being addicted to something is actually, although I'd like to point out what you said, there's going to be, I mean, there has to be a delicate balance between, good and bad. But I think for me is, being addicted to something is actually, you kind of uh, push away the most essential things like yourself, your health, you know, your career, right? So
Yeah,
if I was to say, hey, bro, I'm like I play Call of Duty for 9 hours. I play the computer for 8 hours. I play Among Us, at this specific time, and eventually you're gonna get good at it, obviously, because you put in more time, in uh getting good. But in the process of that, you kind of lose focus of yourself, your friends, your family, and that I think that's the worst kind of addiction. It's just being, taking, you take for granted the most important things in your life. I think there has to
uh,
be what you
true.
said, a delicate balance.
I mean, there's a fine line between being addicted to something you like versus having it as a hobby.
Uh huh.
So, and also there are some things that you can be addicted to that has a positive um outcome or a positive effect to you versus a negative effect. Just for example, you can create music for 15 hours in a day.
Of course.
A lot of people actually make money out of that, right?
Yeah. A career.
Versus you can be in a casino for 15 hours of the day and just wasting money because you're addicted to gambling. You can never call gambling as a hobby because you're literally gambling
So some
and you're
people make a
actually
lot of
going.
money out of that.
That's
You know,
true, but at
it's
the same time, yeah, I mean, the way that you can think about it is going back to that comparison. When you're making music, it's either you earn nothing or earn something. Versus gambling, you are going to either lose something or win something. You get what I mean? So I guess it's just learning what your hobbies are versus the things that you get addicted to. Just like drugs.
yeah.
There's no such thing as taking drugs as a hobby. It's more like of an addiction, more as not even a habit anymore. It's addiction. So that's
Yeah, I
my
think
2 cents on that.
gambling, I think the problem with gambling is, I was a gambler myself when I was in college. I think Mehrdad would attest to that. And
Yeah, but
the problem,
we
yeah,
never, but we never in it, we never very bad. Like we
we
didn't
never, yeah,
lose the sight of.
we never took it to the next level. Let's just
Yeah,
call it that. But I think what the problem with gambling is this: you are venturing into something with uncertainty. You know, I mean, the odds are stacked against you, and you're chasing this, thrill, this feeling where you haven't, where you haven't been before. Kind of like winning something big like a million, and throughout that process, there's no way you're gonna win all of them. Like, let's just be honest, right? You're not gonna win all of your bets. So I think
Yeah, I don't think
addiction,
you'll be addicted to the game itself. I think you'll
no,
be addicted to the
to that
thrill and the
feeling, to that
adrenaline.
thrill.
Yeah.
That's what you're chasing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you win. I think you win big ones, and then you kind of change that feeling again. Even though you lose, just knowing that if that happens again, I'm gonna feel this way again. I think that's the addiction right there. Is just chasing that feeling and that moment where you kind of get sentimental about your winning. You know, there's this
Oh,
like genuine feeling when you win. As opposed to losing, which is obviously not a good thing. But some people, they thrive on losing because they know eventually they're gonna win. But
it's like drugs. There's downers and there's picker
yeah,
uppers.
yeah. Some people
You
get
know,
off of that. Being
a
high and
lot.
being low, and bro,
Yeah.
if anybody is out there, getting high off of something, bro, you gotta stop that shit. You know, you gotta stop it.
It's
I
prescribed by your doctor, and if your doctor is trusted, because there are some doctors who just gain some money out of it, just so you know.
Yeah,
But
some doctors. Yeah, there's
let's go
some.
back to gambling and casinos. I know that you guys know about this because I told you about these stories before, but the
Mm-hmm.
most or the worst that I experienced was people already using their mouths as their pointers. They have this device just because I don't know what the reason is, but they already have lost their arms or their
Jesus.
legs or something in the casino, and then somehow they have this that extension thing that the teachers use, like the antenna.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
What about that
So
one?
it's kind of like that, right? It extends, and then they have this like weird rubber thing at the end of it, and that's what they use. They put it in their mouth, and then that's what they use to push the buttons on the slot machines. So
Oh, but they have no hands,
I
no
mean,
arms.
no arms, no whatever.
Wow,
For what
that's
reason?
fucked up.
I mean, you would think, right? The first thing or the first impression that you would think is like, oh, maybe he or she lost or they lost their hands because of gambling. They owed a lot of money and
That's the
maybe they
price they
got into
pay.
trouble, but then yeah, and then but
That is
then
the
again
price
at the
that they
same
pay.
time, yeah. And it's not like I'm not even assuming or presuming because I I've seen a lot of them. It's not just one person.
Sure.
So maybe who knows? Maybe they have a club, like a disability club or something.
But
That's
that's
what
some
they do for
dedication
fun.
there.
They have like a seminar, yeah, they have a seminar or what, but it's just one of those things that I know that it happens out there, that
Yeah.
people would sacrifice just to do what they think they love. And it's kind
Yeah.
of sad because, like what you said a while ago, Briggs, it affects your personal life. It affects
Yeah.
your job. Some people
Yeah.
lose their jobs for it. Some people commit suicide for it. So
Yeah. It's
going back to that thrill that you were saying with the winning big bucks and stuff,
yeah.
I know someone who actually killed themselves just for that. Like
Jesus
they
Christ.
they went to like the high roller table and then
Yeah.
won like $5 million and stuff, and then they lost it because they can't
Uh.
stop playing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then
Jesus.
it's not like they owed money, it's just because that feeling, oh shoot, I have $5 million now, let me play
Dude,
more.
if I got
And then they just lost
five
five
million
million
dollars,
dollars
Jesus,
Yeah,
dude,
and I'm not even exaggerating, like
bro,
high
I'm set for
rollers
life for that
here,
kind of money.
yeah, in
I'm set
Vegas,
for
it's
life.
even like 10 million, 20 million and stuff like that. But just imagine you just got lucky one night, and then let's say you put down $10,000 for a night, and then you got $5 million. You only didn't not lose the $10,000 that you put initially, but you lost that thrill, you lost that gain. So just imagine that personal effect to you.
I
It's
know.
sad. So, like what Mehrdad said a while
Yeah,
ago,
because you
as
think
long
you
as you
can
have,
win even more.
yeah, as long as you have moderation to everything that you're doing, I think you'll be good. And you know what the difference between having a hobby and having something to be addicted to or addictive. So, yup.
I
It's
think
just crazy.
hobby is a very important uh distraction to our lives, right? Because
Yeah, 100%
when
agree.
you like work a lot, work a horrible schedule, like 12 hours. You kind of need a retreat from that one, because I don't think you could possibly go through life without having that sort of hobby. Even though it's what, like doing the podcast, just playing games or whatever, or like cross stitch, whatever. Because I don't think that when you don't have a hobby, it's you're not gonna go easily through life. That's what I think. Because I don't know about you guys, but it's gonna honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 on a stack with you guys. I don't think that you are going to have this sanity when you don't have a hobby. Like, think about it. You go to work, you eat, you go to sleep. Go to work, eat, sleep. I mean, just the repetitiveness of that sequence. Just by getting a glimpse of that, and just being trying to understand it. Like, doesn't that drive you insane?
Yes, I
You know,
mean, not
that's
to not to tap on too much in psychology, but a human person is a social person or a social being.
yeah,
It's a
of
part
course.
of being,
No
a
man is
part
an
of the
island.
community. Yeah, exactly. It's part of being in a community. It's part of having that communication and you know what I mean, like relationships out there. Because
Yeah.
like right now you see a lot of people, because most of people, at least here in California, we're actually stay at home again.
Uh huh.
So stay at home orders, so you'll actually see the differences between, like, for me, let's just go to my experience right now. I notice a lot of people who changed attitudes in my office. Whenever I talk to them before, it's totally different on how they talk to me right now, or how I have to talk to them right now. It seems like I needed to make some adjustments on how to approach them.
Uh
My
huh.
point of saying that is, there's a big thing with you trying to be part of a community or a group, um versus of you just, just imagine right now you don't really have, like, going back to what you said, Briggs, if like you're just working and then sleeping and then working and then sleeping. Even in the part where you're working, you're actually communicating. Even
Oh,
in the
really?
part
Yeah.
of, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Now it's so limited that some people, because they don't really have the eyes um
Hmm?
looking at them, they don't have their managers in person to see what they're doing. It's like, I'm not saying that this is everyone, but there's just let's say in 100%, when you're in the office, your brain is at 96%, right? Because everybody's looking at you. You want people to see that you're being busy, but at home, you can literally like do whatever you want. Like, you can lay on the bed while working. You can,
Yep.
there's just a level of security that you have at home, but at the same time, it's not a good type of security. It's taking out that um social aspect of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just,
So, like,
I
there's a
kind
sense
of
of
I kind of went
belongingness.
out of the topic, but yeah, it's just one of those things that people do need something to do outside of work, but at the same time, um before, if you're at work and then you stay at work, it's just more of like trying to communicate with everyone else. I think because that, experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
So having to communicate, learn something from other people, maybe it's going to be a new hobby for you. Maybe it's something that you thought that you didn't like, but then you'd like it. So That's pretty much it. I
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of murmured
from my
and
side, I mean, I
babbled.
really agree with having a hobby. Because, for example, in the past 2 years, I mean, 2 years ago was really struggling to find the balance between work life and uh, the personal life. I've been like trying to find a hobby that I like, so I tapped into photography and tried to get into online gaming. I actually bought a
Yeah.
PC for that one just to be able to do online gaming properly.
Right?
But eventually, I found like a few hobbies that I quite like. Yeah,
Dude, like I don't know about people without hobbies. Like I feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them, because this life is such a, fucking short life, and they don't, they just don't go out there and find their purpose, whether it's a hobby,
That's why,
whether it's
yeah,
a.
that's why
I feel bad for them.
it's
I don't feel
very
sorry for them.
important to it's very important to stay connected with people around you, even if they're not friends. Like people you just see on like a random stranger posting something that seems to be troubling, a single retweet or a response to it would actually help someone. Not to the extent that you'll feel like you're responsible for it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, like you said, there's a lot of people out there that don't have hobbies or don't even have friends, and you already feel bad for them. So just imagine how they feel about themselves. It's not even like a topic about being an introvert or an extrovert. It's more like a sense of, like what Mehrdad said, a sense of belongingness that everywhere you go, you do need. Even in playing games, right? You find your niche, you find your group.
Yeah,
Everybody
just like
needs
mine.
to communicate, right? Yeah. Yeah, like the lions a while ago. So
The lions, or like the
but
hyenas.
it's just, that there's just so many things that happen around there. There are people who are wearing masks. I mean figuratively. You would always think that, oh, that's how they are. They're a happy person. They're blah blah blah. But you know, it doesn't mean that a person is happy.
Yeah,
They're actually happy inside because they can actually always just put it in front of other people. So
I think. Oh, sorry. I think. Yeah.
I
You.
mean, that's how Robin Williams died,
Oh my God, he's
right?
one of the greatest
Yeah,
actors of
he's
all
the best
time. I don't.
comedians. You thought that he was a very happy person because he makes people happy,
Yeah,
but
but it's the complete opposite of what he's feeling.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we lost your dad for a second.
1 second. Is he on? Wait,
He
I'm gonna
got
message him.
DC'd. Ta-da! Now we have your cat online.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on.
But yeah, just continuing to that. Just take care of anyone you
Oh, he's
think
back.
that,
right.
even just a stranger. Hey, my dad. So even just a stranger in the street, a smile can change their day. Just like if you guys watch Joker, right? You saw how Joker was.
Dude, that's one of
Everybody.
the best movies I've
The
seen in a long
movie?
time.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's one of the
Oh yeah,
best,
it
one
was
of
very
the best
nice.
I've ever
Yeah, one
seen.
of the best.
Very nice because
So
it's
a
not
lot
like
of.
the comic books. It's
Mhm.
it's way different, and I like the movie itself is it has a touch of reality, not like
Yep.
the
Not
Marvel
even just a
movies.
touch. It's actually
It's actually,
reality.
yeah, it's
I know a lot of people who actually didn't finish the movie because they felt like it was too real.
yeah.
That,
Really?
especially the shootings.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's too heavy. I wasn't able to finish it because it was too heavy. And I was saying, well, duh, it is heavy because it is actually happening. And that was the time when America had all of these shootings in a span of two years. We actually had like about 10 to 12 shootings, and it's not just It's not just like you go to a mall or something and then there's an active shooter. It's actually churches and
Schools.
schools. So,
That's fucked up.
it's just one of those things. Yeah.
That's
It's
fucked up.
just one of those things that I know that it's inevitable to have bad souls and evil souls out
Yeah.
there, but at the same time, it doesn't kill to be nice,
Doesn't hurt to be
even
nice.
to a stranger.
Yeah.
Doesn't, no, not at all. So,
Not
But
at
yeah.
all. Hmm.
going back to the Joker's movie, I don't consider that like a. I know it was inspired from a comic series, but I feel like it's almost one of those indie movies that has a lot of art into it compared to the rest of the DC movies or Marvel movies. And
It was
unfortunately,
just yeah.
the
Did
current
that on purpose.
yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose just because it's, it is like I said, it's more like of the Joker's background is what
Dark.
it actually illustrates what the history or why such killers or murderers or rapists even that pretty much explains why they think how they think, because it's either they were bullied before
Yeah.
or
There's a
because
history.
they're
There's a history.
and I think some people look at it as a sad thing, a sad movie, a scary movie.
Right.
I even heard people saying that, oh, that just triggers more killers out there. There it just triggers more um
inspire them.
psychopaths. Yeah, like it inspires them, that blah blah blah. Well, I think of it as an awareness movie because a lot of people are not aware, especially the bullies out there.
Yeah.
They don't know that what they do as bullies are actually changing a person's life, especially that these bullies usually they're the ones who you see in school, right? Or the people that, you know the kids in school are the bullies. And again, not to be so psychological about it, it's actually a person's life is molded most during their childhood. So, and like I said, going back to that movie, it portrays the reality of humans in real life,
Yeah.
and it explains more on how they think. So,
I
Isn't
hope
it?
they don't make another sequel though.
Yeah. It'll just fucking ruin the whole thing if
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
make a sequel. Like, it's very rare to have sequels that match the hype of the first one.
Yeah.
It's very rare. So like, I think people tend to just not touch that movie or that masterpiece. Just like
Should leave it alone.
you should leave it alone, dude. Leave it
Yeah.
alone. Leave it like you know as it is, bro. And I give you an example. So
Wars.
my favorite movie,
Oh, sorry.
nah, not that one, not that one.
What was it? What
Uh,
was it?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
no, she said
Are you one
porn.
of those? Okay.
No, she said porn. But I mean, we could
Yeah.
dive into that topic, but maybe
No, no, no.
later.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
So my favorite movie of all time is Scarface. With Al Pacino. That's my number one movie. I've seen it like 46 times, and I've counted it since what? Like I watched it for about wait. I first saw that movie when I was like 25. So like 1 year ago. So nobody gonna contest my age.
Oh,
You're
no,
just gonna let that
just
slip.
go for it. Yeah, just go for it.
So anyway, I was on Instagram and I saw somebody post a Scarface what do you call this, like a banner or something, and I was triggered because uh I that movie really has a significant impact on me because of the way the character was portrayed. It's one of those like rags to riches kind of movie. And the guy who played it was this phenomenal actor named Al Pacino, which is We all know one of the greatest actors of all time, and he
Never heard
is
of
my
him.
favorite. Dude, he's the best. He's the goat.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
the
just
goat,
joking.
to say the least. So, dude, when I saw that banner, I was triggered. But not.
What was the banner about?
It was the sequel. But instead of
Oh, okay.
obviously the movie's been out what 40 years? Yeah, 40
Yeah.
years. Oh no, wait, 30, 39, 38, something. Yeah, 30 something years. And then the guy who's gonna play uh Al Pacino's character is the guy who is in the Star Wars Rogue shit. What do
Oh,
you call that movie? What what what's
uh,
that?
latest
The
trilogy?
Yeah, the latest trilogy, the
That
Rogue
bullshit.
One.
That's
The guy
Ah, no.
the
Okay, okay, no,
the guy who played the guy on that movie. So I was like, I
Googling
was
it now so
pissed.
I can follow what you're saying. Is it the Scarface Scarred for Life?
No, Scarface, Al Pacino,
Oh. No, no,
first
no, no.
movie.
I
It
mean the
came,
sequel.
yeah, that one. I think I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother looking at the title because I was pissed. I was triggered because they somehow make money out of a
Don't mind me.
masterpiece such as Scarface, and then I'm like, they're sitting like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Just leave it alone. You're not gonna deliver the same impact that the first movie did, you know. And
I'm trying
me,
to research about the sequel. What is it called again?
what was that called again? My
Scarface.
scarred. What
Actually,
was
it
that?
says here Scarface. Oh no.
Scar
Scarred for Life.
Scarred
I
for
might be
life.
wrong.
But
The son of a Scarface.
Scarface, yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot
1983.
actually.
There's a
You know what?
lot.
I take it back. There's a lot, but
There's a
I kind
lot.
of want to. I'm looking for that one that you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's crazy.
Actually, uh,
remake.
Scarface from Al Pacino is also a remake of the original
Yeah, the
Scarface,
original.
which was
See, yeah,
1932.
1932, but it's different. It's in Cuba. I think the
Ah,
first one was
okay.
in the United States, but yeah, the story of the second one was way better than the first one. Let's just get that out of the way. It was
It was
so better.
1932. So
1930s, and
yeah,
and there's a touch of reality on the second one, which I think the third one can't deliver. It just can't match up the same intensity that the second movie did. Although it was 30 years ago, and when you talk about the climate nowadays, what I mean by that is when you tap into like social issues such as racism, political aspect of things, everything that happened throughout this time is it's not gonna match up, from the
Yeah, it's
second one.
not just yeah, because it says here, the new Scarface will be a remake in the same way that
Jesus.
the
See,
1983 film
that's
was.
why I was triggered. They're gonna butcher.
It
They're
will
gonna butcher the
build,
new. Oh my god.
yeah, it will build on the core narrative of a two-bit criminal
Oh
immigrating
my
to
god.
US and pursuing a dark, twisted version
It's
of the
exactly the
American
same as the
dream.
second one. It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
Swear to God. Swear to
yeah,
God,
apparently
this
there
bro.
is a
that's the picture.
Scarface.
That's Manny Rivera on the left and Tony Montana on the right. That's my
Yeah.
favorite character of all time. Jesus.
So,
Apparently there is a game for it as well. Scarface: The World
Yeah, the
of
world is
Yours.
yours on PS2.
Yeah,
I used to play that shit.
yeah.
I was in high school. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was in second year high school when that game came out. But anyway, yeah, you know,
yeah.
I think uh
It's just
movies
what.
aren't the
Mhm.
same nowadays, right?
No,
It's
because
just
Hollywood is running out of ideas. That's why
it's running
all
out.
they can do is the remakes.
And also Marvel. It's all about CGI. It's all about flying
Yeah.
people. There's not,
There's no more
you know,
art in it. Just the
Yeah.
For me at least. To
Talk
watch
shit
it,
about Marvel?
I mean,
Hey,
those movies, you watch it once,
yeah.
at least for me, I never go back and watch it again. But for example,
I
movies like Scarface, I watch it again.
Bro, you gotta
okay.
watch it
Well,
again.
maybe
I
it just
watched it 46 times, and I get excited every time I watch it. The same intensity that it made me feel like I was watching it the first time. It was equally the same, and I think that's how old movies are. They give you a sense of you get sentimental about it. I don't know why that is. I think
There was
there's a
a story
psychological
because
thing.
there's
behind
a
them.
yeah, it's there's history behind it. That's why
Yeah, there's a story.
a lot of movies right now that actually win awards are movies that have history, not even like literally history, like showing them 19 something something, but they make something, or they make a story. Most of it are horror movies, just like that Korean film
Uh,
Parasite.
The
Parasite.
rest of the oh
I thought
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
I honestly thought that was a horror story. Like there
Well,
was a
it is
monster.
kind of horrific. It became like, oh, okay, I get it. Like the lower class versus the high
Yeah, the
class
high class.
people. The
Yeah.
lower class wanted to be a part of this and that, but the twist of it, I'm not even for people who haven't watched it yet. But at the same time, it's just one of those things that it's more on the creative way of portraying it. The best one that I actually watched recently is Lovecraft Country in HBO. Um, it says a lot about the African American slavery and how they lived in 1960s, 1970s. But at the same time, they kind of put some horror thrill um creativeness in it, and for sure it's gonna win a lot of awards just because of that aspect, because it's not just like the effects and CGI and stuff like that, but you would actually have that touch of history in there and actually learn something from it. For people who think that it's just like black people, of course they're the first people who did hip hop and stuff like that, but at the same time you'll know why black people are the way that they are, not because it's a literal
Yeah.
history.
History.
It's like it's not a documentary.
Uh huh.
It's
Mhm.
more like of this thriller horror suspense TV show with history in it. So yeah, those are
I'm
the
gonna
the good types of TV shows.
I'm gonna be honest. I would I don't really watch horror movies because I mean
I
Do it,
if
don't
I have
pussy.
any,
either. I don't either.
yeah, I don't watch it. Like my philosophy is, I mean, life is stressful enough. Well, why would you watch a horror movie just to stress
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly my point. And that goes back to what we were talking about a while ago, that Joker wasn't even supposed to be horrific. It wasn't designed to
Yeah, but
scare people.
the message it
Mhm.
delivered was
Mhm.
horrific.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah, but
real.
there's a big difference between like, ghost stories and
Yeah,
yeah,
like the grudge or stuff like that, because that's tapping
bro.
on
Like,
the religious side of society. But I think for me, it's more horrific to watch realistic shows or realistic movies
uh,
versus like I don't watch horror films like the Grudge and The Ring,
yeah.
and especially like Exorcist, wherein
I
like
actually
you'll
watched that
actually
one.
see.
You've never
I
watched
can't
that,
anymore. I can't. I
bro.
cannot.
You
I
gotta
watched
watch that.
Exorcist once. I
I
watched
watched it like three
Exorcist
times,
once. I
I
can't.
don't watch that shit, man. Why would
bro.
Yeah,
you do
no,
that to
it's
yourself?
yeah.
I think I think watching that one gives me a perspective that there's just some things that we can't explain.
Mhm.
Like scientifically, whether it's scientific approach or a spiritual approach. Excuse me.
You
There's
know, I have like a few friends that keep on watching scary movies like that, and now they somehow manifested something scary in their house. Like are afraid of their own house. Like, okay, why do you keep on watching these sort of scary movies? Then after that, every little bit movement, you get scared in your own house.
Yeah, that actually happened to my sister recently because she's like an avid fan of like horror movies. Like each and every horror movie on Netflix when it's new and it's like in the top 10, she'll be the first one who's gonna watch it. And then all of a sudden, because she has a dog, and then the dog just barks on something like the hallway or something
Mm.
like that. And then she feels like that there's someone in there. And then there was one time when she lost her eyeglasses and then she thought that she put it like beside on the table or something like that and she was like searching for it like around the house and then all of a sudden she just found it on the floor. So I'm just like, maybe you just literally left it there, but I get what you mean. It does have an effect on like people too. It's more like of the imagination. I think it attracts or it activates the imagination um
You
of a lot
condition
of
yourself.
people. Yeah, you sometimes feel like these things are reality. So I don't know. Personally, I can't because I get too scared. I'm very sensitive of like because I believe I
It's
believe
just a
in like
movie.
spirit. I know it is, but at the
It's a
same time,
movie.
I kind of believe of lost souls too. I know that there are some people who died and didn't really. I don't know. I think it is just a movie, but at the same time, I get too scared. I
I
get
mean,
too jumpy.
I agree with you. I don't get scared, but I am sort of respecting the lost souls. I don't get scared, but
Bro, that's just one reason. You're just
no,
finding reasons not to
no,
watch horror movies. But
I'm just a pussy. Don't worry.
do it, man.
Watch it,
Do it.
but as long as I'm with people, I can't watch horror movies by myself.
Alone. Yeah.
It's just too much. It's just too much.
Like,
I
what's the scariest movie you guys not watch, but just like previewed? Like it's a trailer, whether it's a trailer or what movie or a TV series,
have you watched that Japanese, was it Japanese or Korean?
like The Ring.
I think it was no 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 no. The Wishing Stairs.
Oh, what's that? I'm gonna look
Oh
for
my
it.
gosh, you guys
Wishing
should
Stairs.
watch it. I think that was the last horror movie that I said, okay, after this, I'm never gonna watch a horror in my life.
Really?
So,
Right.
you know that it's a movie about this, of course, lady who goes up the stairs and then counts the stairs. And then at the last step, if he or she, I'm not even sure, it's been years, but the last step usually if you miscount it's either you miscount or it just literally disappears on you and then something bad happens or something like that. So after watching that movie, I was still living with I was still living with my dad that time, and then they have like a lot of stairs in the house. I was I was just like, oh my god, I can't. I just literally stayed in the living room probably for like three days. So it was that. You guys should just watch it. It's like that Filipino movie. I haven't watched it, but I heard about a Filipino movie called Oro Plata Mata. It's actually a
What is that?
superstition that if you have stairs in your house, you have each and every step you'll say Oro Plata Mata, Oro Plata Mata, and it's
So what if
supposed
you
to
don't?
end at Mata,
Okay.
which is like gold or something. It's supposed to give you
Uh huh.
good luck.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If it
Wealth.
ends in Oro, it's gonna give you like this horrific. It's gonna be bad luck. So it's like feng shui.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah.
talking about that when during the school time, when we were designing a house, we actually considered that concept. Like it was something new to me, that concept, but I actually count to make sure my steps are a multiple of three, even though I don't believe in that shit. But people
Yeah, because a
actually,
lot of people actually believe in that, especially Asians. Me,
Jesus.
not personally, I don't really believe like black cats are unlucky or stuff like that.
Black
But
cats are
a lot
cute.
of people out there, yeah, people out there actually consider those kinds of things. So yeah,
Wait,
it's still
so if I was to build a house, so the stairs should be like multiples of three,
Basically, the landing should fall into
like six,
gold.
nine,
pata.
three.
Yeah,
Uh, no wait,
Jesus,
follow plato
I gotta put it
pata.
down.
Follow.
I gotta put
yeah.
that
It
down.
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be multiple of three, but rather the landing or
The last
the
step.
the, the no, the last step or even the landing in the middle of the long staircase needs to fall in on the gold, or if not on the silver, not on the dead.
Oh God, dude, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean
Wow,
Now you know.
now I
we have
know.
a lot of nonsense like this in our. I mean, they don't teach you, but you follow it regardless. Like I
Yeah,
know that you're not supposed to face the bed toward the door opening because
The
if you
door
die,
opening. Yep.
your
Mhm.
spirit goes out, or
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
you shouldn't have the entrance of the staircase directly
Facing the
facing
front
the
door. Yes.
front door. Yeah, like they believe that all of the fortune of the house goes out of
goes
the
out.
Yep.
goes out. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that's actually something our parents tell us, right? Like
Grandparents.
Yeah.
grandparents, parents, you know. And I think
Yeah.
I don't know, man. For me personally, I don't believe in that shit, but I somehow, take what you guys have said about the Oro Plata shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that one. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one slide,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna jot that down on my phone.
You should
I
watch
did
Wishing
not know
Stairs.
that. I did
You
not
guys
know
should
that.
watch. You guys should watch
Wish
Wishing Stairs.
Wishing Stairs. Yeah, is that Korean, right?
You'll know.
Oh, it's
I
Japanese. Is it Japanese?
Japanese.
Wishing Stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here.
I'm gonna.
Oh my gosh. Here. I'll show you the picture. Even
Found
the
it.
picture is already creepy. Right there.
Oh, there's two sisters. The left one's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, she is. I think
By the way,
she's known. I think she's a known actress now. No, it's Korean. Sorry, it's
Korean.
Korean.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Park Han Byul or something. I don't know how to say that. Whatever. But
have you
yeah,
noticed?
you
Go on, go on.
but yeah, you guys should just watch it because it's one of those movies that will stick in you just like how The Grudge is
Mm-hmm.
because like, oh, my back is hurting now. You'll feel like there's
Yeah, there's like a bitch
there's
like
someone
behind
on
me
your
who's
on your
staying on my
shoulder
shoulders.
tapping on you or like riding your shoulders. That's why you have a back pain. Yeah, it's something like that. So every time
Something
that
like
you
that.
go up the stairs now, it's just like, oh shit. So it's just, I think it's brilliant because it actually has
It
an
is.
effect on people. So yeah, it's one of those things.
But have you noticed, like all of these movies that they put out there, uh, when you see a ghost like going up the staircase or climbing at the wall, etc., they don't walk straight properly. Like always, like in a weird uh,
I don't know.
position. That
Maybe
it's
it's
just
just
You're
scarier
scaring
if
me
they.
now, Mehrdad.
like
I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna be like, I'm not
I mean,
gonna go downstairs until later, I guess, or I'm gonna ask my fiance to escort me downstairs.
I, no, I mean, like I'm sure they can walk properly. They can go down the staircase properly. Why they need to like end upside down to be able to go downstairs? Like,
I think
come on,
it's more
guys.
Oh my
scarier
god.
that way.
Of course,
I think it delivers this unusual, like we've never seen it before, and that to us is scary. You know,
Yeah.
we're not used to just seeing that kind of the way like a ghost presents itself. I think that's kind of the movie goes in that direction just so to just fuck our minds and scare us at the
Yeah.
same time. But
uh,
I think I think it's it's essential to have a horror genre. I
is,
think
it is. I
you
think
know
it
it,
activates not even just like the fear in people. I think again going back, it's gonna make people aware of their surroundings even more. I guess you know what? Now I think about it again, I'm being very psychological, but state hospitals. Oh no, it's that's here in America. So here in America, there are state hospitals wherein
okay.
um um mentally disabled criminals are sent to.
Hmm.
These mentally disabled criminals don't go to prison, but they go to rehab, such as the state hospitals. Now, maybe I'm thinking that I should pitch letting them watch horror movies.
What?
Uh,
What?
just to scare
Wait,
them,
what?
because they feel like they're very powerful in community that they can just kill other people. If maybe if we can influence them, like, hey, there are some ghosts out there, you even if you're alone, you think you're alone, and then you're planning to kill someone, you're not alone. you
It's
know
just gonna
you get what I
trigger
mean?
them.
It's just
It's gonna trigger them and backfire.
that's fucked up, bro. Like,
I'm just gonna be like, because they think that if there's no one looking at them or watching them, they think that they can do whatever they want. Like it even happens in like prison. Like in the jail, you always, or like prison, you always feel there are prisoners who still get into trouble, such as you can't smoke in the prison, but
yeah.
then somehow they get a cigarette or something. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe if we let them watch horror movies, and not like horror movies like the realistic Joker whatever movie, but
Uh-huh.
more on this like the Ring, Grudge, Wishing Stairs kinds of things, they would finally think that, oh, there's actually there's this another, what do you call, I know that there's a term for it. um
What is it?
uh it's on top of my tongue. But there's another being out there, not just human beings, but there is someone watching me, because most of them really don't believe in God and stuff, not like God fearing people, or at least the
Yeah.
people who believe in the higher being. But if they think that, hey,
Oops.
I watched this movie, and then it says that, I don't know.
Just like a
I don't
boogeyman.
know. I just think that it's going to open or make them not really aware, but it will introduce another inextensial inextensial ex, existential being, that even if they're alone, they're gonna fear doing something bad. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they would just stay in bed and do not do anything.
Pretty much.
They just stay in bed. But
So,
yeah,
uh,
I don't know.
we
It's just
can
a concept.
can try, but if something goes wrong for people out there, it was May's fault. She brought it up.
He brought it up. Amen.
I pretty much, or
Exactly.
yeah, like it's
We
gonna
just had a
trigger them
normal
even more.
criminal. Yeah, exactly. No, we have a cultist now.
Now we
On
have a cultist now. What the hell?
So, I just think that way, that it's, if a person, or let's say a kid, they haven't really watched a horror movie, they're not really going to be fearful. It's just like, okay, horror movies for them is like the villains in Disney movies, right?
Mhm.
That's how they learn that there are bad people versus there are good people. But if it's an adult, it's just gonna be, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I don't think I'm making sense anymore. But I think you know what I mean. But yes, I get again that it might trigger criminals even more. So never mind.
But going back to the horror movies, like I don't watch horror movies, but I listen to this podcast, which is all about paranormal activities, like aliens or demons or what do you call it, white ladies and this sort of a thing. And it's quite interesting. Let me, where is that link? I'll forward.
Is
Send
it
it to you guys.
Unsolved Mysteries?
No, no, it's just like a group
Uh,
of
Like
people.
BuzzFeed?
He's he's a gamer, and he gathers like us, like three of them sit down every month or twice a month, just come up, go on the Reddit and look for paranormal activities or topics to talk about for the entire thing.
Wait, let
It's
me
quite
check this
interesting.
out. Uh, hold on. Reddit, right?
No, no, I'm gonna find a YouTube channel and
I
send it to you.
I yeah. You can send it to me, but I'll watch it later if it's not early in the morning here. I don't want
Just
to start my day fearing
watch it at
myself.
noon. Watch it at noon.
Watch it at night. That'll make sense. It'll make
Yeah, it can
sense
force
watching
me
it
to
night.
sleep. I say,
Yeah.
just close your eyes, Mai. Close
But
your eyes.
they don't want to. They don't scare you. They just talk, analyze it, and see if it is actually true or not true. Uh,
I like paranormal things rather than horror films, you know? Because
Same.
with
Them are the same.
paranormal, certain topics like, the UFO, aliens and whatnot, it,
Yeah.
you know, instead of like feeling scared, you
Mhm.
kind of, feel some sort of, sense of the unknown when you dive into that topic. And I
Dude,
think it's much more interesting talking than ghosts and fucking monsters and all that shit. And I think there's having that sort of topic,
mhm.
that paranormal activities, the are we alone in this universe? I think uh that is more interesting to me than fucking, like there's a white lady at the corner of my house. I
No, listen, I agree with you.
I
I mean,
fuck with that shit. I fuck with it. That's all I'm saying.
I personally like. Have you watched Ancient Alien?
Is that on Nat Geo? No.
It used to be, and it's not. I mean, the
I saw.
first
Yeah,
few
of course, Nat Geo.
seasons, yeah, first few seasons, yeah,
Yep.
first few seasons, they were amazing. Like I really followed that shit up. Almost, I would say, 90% convinced. Afterward, they got a little bit ridiculous. Then I stopped watching them. It was quite interesting
Why were they ridiculous? Like, is
because
it
the first
phony? What
the fir- no,
is
the
it
first
fake?
few season claims that they were making, it was quite interesting because it sort of made sense because you could not imagine people like in the ancient time can achieve what they have achieved
Uh
during
huh.
that time. But afterward, every single item that they uh, it could be explained easily, they're related to aliens. Like they were trying to, like it's in the I mean season 13. So at this time right now, just trying to say everything is from aliens. The first few seasons, first like I would say season 1 to 3, it was legit good program. Uh, Let me
Yeah.
send the channel
I
there
think.
to you guys.
I think it's more interesting, really, to talk about like the unknown, and it kind of it unleashes the inner geek in you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know.
Curiosity.
Curiosity, yeah,
Just a
of course.
curiosity itself.
It's just curious to talk about, and by just sharing your opinions and you know, and imparting those knowledge to other people who dig into that topic, into that shit, dude. You gotta,
Yeah.
the feeling you're geeking out when somebody comes up to you and hey, and it turns out they also like what you like, and then the
Exactly.
both
Yeah.
of you geek out, and then you know time goes by and you're at the same spot like 4 hours just talking to the other person. I think that's more apparent in talking about
Going back to aliens
the
though, I don't
aliens.
need to like watch shows or you know, I mean it would be just an entertainment sort of thing, but I don't need to watch or hear
Uh-huh.
alien stories just to believe in them because I already believe in aliens. You know
Yeah.
that there's a secret room in NASA that's very, very secret, and they believe that that's where people actually try to communicate with aliens out there.
Wow.
Um,
That is.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that once we get
That's
off of
why,
this podcast, dude.
yeah,
That's
I have a
fucking. You know,
yeah. There,
I
I
wanna.
have a friend.
I
I
wanna
have a
search that.
friend, or I have a friend who used to work for
Is
NASA,
that
and
real
she.
or is it a just a conspiracy? What is that?
Well, it can be
Or
conspiracy, but I believe in it. I believe in that conspiracy theory. I mean, we're just like a speck of dust out in the universe, you know. I
of
mean,
course, of course,
there's
no doubt,
so many
no
things
doubt,
out there. Like even
no
a
doubt.
bug for us can be like humans, comparable to humans in other planets. You get what I mean? Like
Yeah, I like talking about
so
like
supernatural
things the
things. There's the term
supernatural,
supernatural.
supernatural.
Gosh,
Is that the
I
term?
feel
But
I
that
so.
thought
was your friend too.
finally it came out.
Finally,
Here
yeah.
we go. It
Like, I
came
After
feel
out
what?
so
at the
dumb.
right time.
Yeah,
At the right
yeah.
time.
For the people who was wondering, just
Yeah, for
what
the
you call it?
people who are just tuning in,
Rewind. Yeah,
you could rewind
20 minutes ago.
like
Oh
Yeah,
my
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
God. Sorry.
Supernatural.
Word
Oh
of
my
the
god, I
day:
turned so
supernatural.
Hey, since we're on the topic of talking about aliens, I think Mai just spaced out, you know? That's a joke. But anyway, you know,
goodness, but
Found the name of
oh
the
god,
podcast.
sorry.
Uh, it's
I
called
got
Chilluminati.
Illuminati. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
oh goodness, I got
Oh,
so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. That's not even like a
Illuminati.
vocabulary word.
It's okay. It happens to best of us.
Good morning.
Yeah. Probably the coffee.
Oh
Or
Yeah.
gosh.
like, yeah,
Uh
you gotta tone it up a bit with your caffeine. Yeah, more caffeine, I think.
I don't know. I
But
think I need to sleep more.
but yeah,
Oh my
dude.
god, I got so embarrassed. I'm sorry. People, I
All
swear
right.
I'm not dumb.
So like,
Okay, go.
when we talk about the unknown, it's just, it what really drives us as human beings is just being curious and being, being on the edge of things that it might, we might discover along the way. I think that's the key to being, this topic of supernatural things that's happening and the unknown. I think that's what drives scientists, just keep on looking for answers, whether it's here or, out in space. And I think what you're talking about, the NASA, the secret room, I think that might be true. I don't know, who knows, right? But I'd like to think that it's true because,
It's either that room is for discovering aliens or making nuclear weapons. Who knows?
who knows?
I think it's for aliens because it's NASA, but
I
um
think
yeah.
what you said about um things that we shouldn't know, I think there's a reason behind it of things that we shouldn't know because I think it they're actually protecting us, you know? Did you guys ever think of that? Like there's something, yeah, there's a conspiracy about something, but we're too focused on what's in front of us rather than what's behind it. What's the reason behind uh, for it not being on the cover of a newspaper or maybe just being a topic on Twitter? I think it's more than
Sometimes
that.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
unless
they
you're stupid, you know
want
that's fucking That's what I
No, I mean
that's what I call it.
in this topic, Briggs.
Oh, and that topic.
Ignorance is
Ignorance
bliss,
is bliss.
not like in general.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm stupid. Who knows?
I don't think you are, but I'm
But
just saying, yeah, and what we were saying, that's when people say sometimes ignorance is bliss. So,
yeah, ignorance is bliss. Like,
I don't know, but I would love to learn about aliens. I would totally give up my career right now if I need to go back to school for like how many years. And if they
just to
say
find
that,
some
oh
aliens.
yeah, there's like aliens out there, we have a new study for it, and blah blah blah. Like that international space station that they want to create for new people that's gonna go to Mars and travel to Mars. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be part of that whenever that's gonna happen. But
I did.
They actually have one, right?
there's an
Yeah, I
international
think they
space
picked like a
station.
50.
It's like a different country.
Yeah, there's an international space station for astronauts.
For
But what I'm
astronauts.
talking about, yeah, what I'm talking
Oh,
about
it's like
is like
a
for
commercial.
civilians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
commercial flight from Earth to Mars.
Mhm. So
But
that's actually gonna, travel put people. I think it's like supposed to be due on 2022. That's why Elon Musk invested on it. Or was it Elon Musk or someone, some billionaire, trillionaire, one of the richest people in the world. I think it's Elon Musk. Or was it Elon Musk? I'm not sure now. It's from last year's
yeah,
news, but someone invested on it to be one of the people who can actually, ride that rocket ship or that um that rocket ship that would transport people to Mars. That's where they have the rover, which
yeah.
is I'm geeking out now. Tell me to
Okay. No,
stop.
go ahead.
But there's a Mars rover that actually just launched, and then that's the reason why they launched that so they can get specimens and videos and pictures of Mars
yeah.
so they can study it once it goes back to Earth. They can study those elements if it's safe for humankind or stuff like that. So yeah. So whenever
Like,
that's gonna happen, because of the pandemic,
yeah.
I have another friend who's supposed to work on that project,
Wow.
but because of it, it's going to be, delayed
That's
again.
SpaceX, right?
For sure.
SpaceX.
That is NASA.
Oh, NASA. Okay.
Yeah, but
Thought
of
it was
course in
SpaceX.
partnership of yeah. So
Yeah, partnership.
SpaceX,
Of course.
yeah, SpaceX are the people or is the company that creates and
The
actually
rocket.
funds the spaceships, the rockets, and the materials that they use for this. NASA produces the people such as astronauts, engineers, computer software engineers, and
Dude, those
the
guys are
genius behind it.
like those guys
So,
are rock stars for me.
yep,
Like
yeah,
just being, that's working on the future essentially.
yeah.
It's essentially
Actually,
what
where
they're
I
doing.
live right now is where JPL NASA is in California. So it's
Wow.
literally like 10 minutes away from me. And I always wanted to try that anti-gravity stimulation.
Uh-huh.
Like
Great one.
you just they
Float,
have
you
it.
float?
They have it. That's why I'm just like, ah, because of pandemic,
How
man.
do
Like
you
seriously.
what is that? Do you go into a room and then you float or
I
what
don't
what is
know.
that?
I mean,
Is
I
that
know that there's a it's either maybe you go in like an what do you call it? The AR experience or something. It's like a 4D experience. Like
uh-huh.
probably you I don't know whatever it is, but I just really want to feel what astronauts feel. Oh my god, I'm
Of
so
course.
geeking out. I'm sorry, excuse myself, but have you watched The Right Stuff on Disney Plus? So
What
there's
is
a new
that?
TV
What is that?
show, The Right Stuff on Disney Plus. It is a documentary. Well, not documentary, sorry, but it's one of those shows that actually portray the history of the how they chose the astronauts that will travel to not Apollo 13 but the first um travel to the moon. And in that the first two episodes you'll actually see what the training is. They literally sit on a chair that turns them around really 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 fast, and
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
that's
that's part
one
of
of
the
the
training, right?
yeah, Yeah, the
That's part of training.
agility part of it. And then there's the they actually opened the show with the one of the pilots who
Yeah.
got chosen to um
Yeah.
you know travel to moon. And then I don't wanna spoil it, but yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. I
It's
gotta
19 it was based in 1961 because Apollo 13 is
61.
1969.
Yeah.
So that one is 1961.
Wow.
So it was the
I
first
gotta
one.
watch
I
that
forgot
shit.
to mention it. It's
Yeah,
good.
you guys
It's
gotta
good.
send me some links,
Yeah,
to keep
I'll
me
give you
updated.
credentials to my Disney Plus so you can watch it.
We cannot
No,
watch it actually. We
yeah,
cannot watch
seriously.
it.
I think really? Why not? Is that
I mean,
your
I tried.
country?
I mean, I tried it. I think it's a country-specific locked.
Yeah.
I think Philippines is actually okay with it because my sister uses it. No, never mind. I think if you have VPN, you can do
Did you
it.
try that? Yeah, of course.
I'm not
VPN.
sure.
But
Yeah,
so like does everybody here like still
I
watch
totally geeked out.
movies
I'm
on
sorry.
Netflix?
Not anymore for me.
Movie.
Yeah. Do you guys still
I I
watch some movies
I
on
actually
Netflix?
like TV shows on Netflix more than
Yeah.
movies. The
Yeah, as opposed
best
to movie.
one, there's well actually they're two different genres, but they're very good. Number one is Umbrella Academy.
I never got that one. I was on my first
It's
season.
really good. I think you'd like it.
I think
If you like
The Boys is you know
The
that
boys
one?
are the best. Yeah.
It's good. It's
The
from
Boys,
Amazon
I haven't
Prime.
watched.
Amazon Prime, right? That
Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Amazon
Well,
Prime.
I shamefully inherited it, but yeah.
Yeah. Umbrella
Um,
Academy, yeah, sure.
you should
But
watch Umbrella Academy. And the second one, well, actually, I can't say second one because I really, really loved it. I
what is it?
watched it. Remember last week, Briggs, when I was in the hotel, I actually watched it. There's 8 episodes or 9. I binged it. I finished it in
You bitched
probably
it.
a day and a half. I can't
Wow.
stop watching. It's called Queen's Gambit.
Oh, the chess movie.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chess TV
Yeah,
show.
I was
It's
trying to
so
watch that.
good.
Is it good?
It's so good.
Oh my god, I'm
Like
gonna watch that.
it's
I'm gonna watch that.
it's not, you know, you think that it's predictable, and then
Yeah,
you'll
she
be
was
like,
gonna
oh,
win.
here again.
Yeah.
Yeah, here he goes again. There's a love interest and stuff like that, but it's like way more than that. It's just brilliant how the producers and the directors and the writers of the TV show, how they came up with the storyline. It's not like oh okay, yeah, sure, she's an orphan. Now she's gonna be like
The best
that's why
chess
she's
player.
kind of crazy because this and that. It's not even that, but it's just one of those things. You guys
Yeah, I'm
should
gonna
watch
watch
it.
that. I've been dying to watch it since it came out because I'm an avid chess fan, so once they put out some news like a new chess player, a new movie, they would post it, and then I knew about that movie like a month ago, but I just couldn't
Hmm.
find time to watch it.
Yeah,
But
it's a
I'm
TV
glad you
show though.
pointed it out
You
now.
have to. I'm
Yeah,
saying, especially,
it's
you know,
it's been trending on Twitter. Not gonna lie,
after I watched it, I actually wanted to learn how to play chess because I don't know how to play chess.
bro. You
Um,
just gotta play
and
it.
then I could imagine because there's a big Russian
Russian,
influence in
yeah.
it too. So I could imagine people who understand Russian and understand chess,
You know why?
and while watching that movie, oh my god, it's gonna be such a trip. Like I'm not even
Yes.
kidding. I was already like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh damn, she did that. Just imagine if you literally understand what she was trying to talk about
Yeah,
and
that's what
act.
I'm.
It was just
That's why I
yeah,
want to watch the movie. I really want to watch that movie, but
yeah. You should.
I just couldn't.
You
Get the
should.
time right.
You
But
should
yeah,
just watch one
I'm
episode
going
a
to
night
watch
if you
yeah
can.
tonight. But yeah, it's 4 in the
Yeah.
morning. So
But
I'm gonna watch it later.
I would warn you that once you start one, you can't stop because the cliffhangers on the TV, like each and every episode, is just too great that you'll be just yeah, you'll be left hanging for sure. So
I
maybe
actually
on
don't
your
like
days off.
cliffhangers. I lose interest whenever
No,
like
you wouldn't.
a
This one you
series
wouldn't.
does that to me. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
watch. You
Yeah.
win.
This one doesn't. It's just because I think I'm not sure if it's based on a true story, but there's just so many influences and interests in it that it can, again, going back, it can activate your brain and thinking on something like
Yeah, it's gonna
it's
stimulate your
just
brain.
it's like
That's what I was
Umbrella
going to
Academy.
ask. Is it based on true story or no? Do we know?
You know what? Let me Google that right
Twister?
now. I thought it was
What is that? Wait,
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of trailers on YouTube, but I just never get around to it
Same
or got
here.
around
Like,
to it.
It is. So the Queen's Gambit based, the story itself is oh, never mind. The story itself is fictional and drawn from the 1983 coming of age novel of the same name by Walter Tevis, who died in August 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Put plainly, Beth Harmon is not a real chess prodigy. So no, it's not.
It's fiction, right?
inspired.
But it would actually make you think that it is a true story
So
just because,
so it was that good.
it
Let's
was
just
that
say that.
good.
Yeah,
That it
it was
will
that good.
actually ask, yeah.
You would believe it was real. That's what I like about movies. Even though it's fake, and then the way they put it together, you know, and
Mhm.
they offer that kind of uh effect on you, dude. Guaranteed,
Yeah,
100%.
it's
That movie's gonna
actually
be
based on
top 10 on
yeah,
my
it's
list.
it's based on a fiction novel called The Man Who Fell to Earth.
The Man Who Fell to Earth. Wow.
Now I want to read that book, but anyway,
What's your favorite book? The both of you.
Uh, Depends. Like, what genre we're talking about. If you're
Any.
talking
What's
about,
what's what's the top one? What is it?
mm,
What's the book that you guys? Okay, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. If you were stuck on an island, what book would you read? That's how. All right.
I would say I have two books. One is from fantasy genre, which is Prince of Thorns. Love
Okay.
that book. It's like about
What is it about?
anti-hero. It's about anti-heroes that basically he's a young prince that he was is brutal. Basically,
Okay.
he's not your typical hero that saves things. No, he goes around, rape shit and kill
Uh huh.
people, and his characters grow into three different trilogy. And you will see he eventually does the good thing, but doesn't like it.
Yeah, since he's the anti-hero,
Yeah,
it's kind
exactly.
of like
The other
Deadpool
one is
in a sense.
yeah, in a sense, yeah. Another one is Kaleidoscope, which is I think the romance novel.
Kaleidoscope. What is it about?
But like three infants who got separated from childhood. One of them gets adopted by a rich family, so she has a nice life. The other one gets adopted by a sort of a scientist couple, which
Uh huh.
she's very well educated, and the last one doesn't get adopted. So she
Mm-hmm.
goes through the whole foster system. She gets raped, and eventually all these three girls meet each other and find each other somehow. But that if the girl that doesn't get adopted, she just basically becomes a self-made woman that she goes through the whole secretary position and
Mm-hmm.
rise up the ladder, uh, becomes rich enough to look for her sisters. Basically, that she shows the eldest. That
Wow.
should really one of the I would say one of the book that actually had the emotional effect on me. Like it really made me shed some tears.
Yeah. What about you, Mai?
Since Mehrdad gave to I like Mitch Albom's Tuesdays with Maury.
I wait.
It's
Uh
With Maury, wait. That
there's a
Tuesdays with
movie
sounds
for
so
Maury.
that.
familiar.
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
about
so familiar.
it's about a man who visits his old professor every Tuesday. And
Uh,
then it's actually great. It's like one of those um stories that you can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
maybe directly or indirectly, but it's a story of someone's life and how someone actually molded him to the person that he is. It's good. And then the other one is it's actually a biography. It's called Son of Patricia. No. Trevor Noah, Son of Patricia. Do you know guys who do you not guys know who Trevor Noah is?
Is that the
the
basketball
South
player?
The
African.
late night show.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a
Trevor
South
Noah.
African.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the host, right? That's the
Yeah.
host of
yeah.
the
So, yeah,
over at Comedy
his
Central.
his autobiography is actually
I
one
heard.
of the best stories that I've ever read
Was he
and
the guy
heard.
from Africa? Was he the guy
South
from?
Yes.
Africa.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, South
Mhm.
Africa.
Yes,
I was
so
gonna say.
he is, yeah, because his history is actually pretty cool. Like it's very realistic in, it's just it's almost a TV show, but it's interesting because it actually happened in real life with this person who's so popular and who's a TV
Uh huh.
host now and has his own show, but you wouldn't believe how not even dramatic, how interesting, like seriously interesting his life was.
Mm-hmm.
I read the book and heard the audiobook, but I suggest you guys, if you're the type of person who don't like reading or doesn't like reading rather, I suggest you hear the book in audio
Audiobook.
because he's the one who's narrating
Also,
it,
he's the
so
one.
it's more
Wow.
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
like
then
I,
it,
I
it's
like
just
those
yeah,
kinds of
and it's yeah,
audiobooks.
and it's yeah, it's just you'll learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
It's not just his life, but like what really is happening out there in the world, especially
Hmm.
in Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
The
educational too. How about you, Briggs?
me. It's Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. It's a personal story. It's essentially his life. When he was, I think Mehrdad should. I think you should read that book because he was 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 300 pounds, and he was on the verge of like he was on he essentially hit rock bottom. He was 300 pounds. He was getting divorced, and he was having a dead end job, so to speak. So eventually, he turned his life around. He joined the Navy SEAL, the United States Navy SEALs, and that was it. I think when I read that book, I think to myself, I had it easy. You know, I had it easy. I had an easy life. Because this guy, imagine uh witnessing your stepfather getting killed right in front of you, and your father, your biological father, being just physically abusing your mother right in front of you. I think what he witnessed was really horrific in every sense you can imagine, because at that time when he saw his mother, getting beaten up, and essentially his father was a pimp. His father was a pimp. They owned a bar. So I'm gonna spoil the book a little bit. So when he was like 10, they owned a bar essentially, and his father was a pimp. He would pimp out women at night while him and his mother ran the bar. So when they close up at 3 a.m., they open up at 10. And from that, from just me telling you guys that, that's a hard life, you know, just being able to, work like 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. Imagine. Imagine doing that for years and years. And then, and his father was a drunkard, not just a pimp, So when he goes home, and him and his mother, you know, and his
So
father would,
pretty much a typical abuser.
it was yeah, his father was an abuser. He would, his father would beat his mother and him, and while he's doing that, he wasn't just pimping women; he was sleeping with them. And what's worse, it was right in front of his mother. You know,
Mhm.
and when he came at maybe, I keep forgetting his age, maybe 28. He was overweight. He had a job, he had a dead end job. He was a, what do you call this? Exterminator. He was an exterminator, and
Okay.
you know, and I think, you guys should just like read the book. It was just an amazing book. I don't want to spoil it for or anybody who's watching, but when
Comparable to That's comparable to the Trevor Noah book. I'll
yeah,
I'll for sure. What's the name of the book?
Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Can't Hurt Me.
So what you're saying, I need to read that book so I can understand not how not to be a pimp.
I mean, if you want to look at that way, I mean you can, but you know,
Yeah, well, that's what I got from the whole story.
bro, he made something out of himself, is what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
just mentioning his father and his like, the hardships he went through. It was just amazing. It was just amazing to read and be a part of that. Me being on that
Mhm.
journey. I had
Yeah.
a book and the audiobook, and it was just amazing. And he was, as Mai said, he was the one reading it to me from the audiobook.
Okay.
So he was like, I think his voice, because he was
Is
a
it this
Navy
one?
SEAL. Yeah,
Is
that
that
one.
one right?
That's look at him. It was 300 pounds. That was him before he joined the SEALs, and then look at him now. Fucking amazing,
Okay.
bro. But that guy
Okay.
is a psychopath. What I mean by that, not in a bad way, but in a good way. He works out. He pushes himself uh beyond his limits, just beyond his limits, and and he had that kind of mentality because of the history that he he has.
Well, I think that
And
it's a very interesting movie because there's a clean addition to it. Does it
basically,
get dirty?
the dirty
This
version is, you say, the dirty version of that,
There's
which
a
I
clean
have.
addition
Yeah, the
right
clean
there.
version. Yeah, the clean version is like
Clean
without
addition.
curse words, without the fuck shit, ass,
Ah.
without
what was
but
the name
So
of
would
the
you
guy?
suggest me
David
Uh,
Goggins. Look it up.
yeah.
David Goggins,
Uh,
bro.
would it
Okay.
That's
would you suggest for me to hear it or read it?
oh, you gotta hear it. You gotta hear that
Okay.
shit.
So
You gotta hear
Audible.
that shit.
Okay.
That actually, I listen to that when I wake up in the morning because it pumps me up. You know,
Okay.
I think
I'll
the part which hit me is when he had a night job. He was an exterminator, and he was going to this like 7-Eleven or some store. What do you call it in the states, Mai? What do you call that again? It's a shopping mart or whatever. It's like a
Store?
convenience
Usually,
store. Yeah, one of those stores.
Mm.
uh,
Yeah,
what's
he
the name?
had yeah, he had a
Walmart.
job. Yeah, he was
AM
yeah,
PM?
yeah, that one.
Okay.
So, like one night he had one job. It was I think 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an exterminator. He was overweight. He had a dead end job, and he was glad this happened to him. So he was cleaning up the store with all the cockroaches. So he noticed like it had an open vent that was like like seeping out uh maybe like a significant amount of cockroaches. So you know he pointed at his spring thing, and once he pointed that one to the vent, all of the cockroaches, dude, just poured onto his head, and it covered his
Then
body. Yeah, I
Ugh.
mean, and then you know after that he had enough. He had enough of his dead end job. He had enough of his overweight. His weight being just like 300 pounds. Like he had just, he was done. Like at that point, he said to himself, I gotta, this life isn't for me. I gotta change this. I gotta look for some perspective about my life. And then, he decided to join the Navy SEALs, and the rest is history. You guys wanna? It's the best. It's one of the
Yeah,
best
I'm gonna.
books
I
that I've
I just
ever
downloaded it.
listened in my life.
Yeah, I just
And
downloaded it.
the part where he the fun part about that audiobook, Mai, is the training
Mm-hmm.
when he went into the SEALs. That was the most like hilarious yet fulfilling stories that I've ever listened to, and inspiring at the same time. You guys should listen to it. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah, I
it's
will
one of the best.
for sure. Yeah, and you should listen to Trevor Noah.
Yeah, I actually I'm a fan of his, like the Comedy Central. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't he the one who replaced Jon Stewart?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Actually, sorry, it's not. It's not. Trevor Noah, son of Patricia. Patricia is actually his Netflix
Special.
comedy special. Yes.
Yeah.
But the book is Trevor Noah, Born a Crime.
Born a crime. Why is it
Yeah.
named that way? What's the reason
Because
behind it?
before black people cannot marry white people, interracial partnerships were illegal
In Africa, South
South
Africa,
everywhere.
Africa.
everywhere? Really?
Yeah, even in United States. Black
Wait,
people Black people were considered three-fifths of a person here in United States.
that's fucked up.
Yep,
That's fucked
there's
up.
so many things about it.
That's
That's
so
why
fucked up.
yeah, we can talk about it next time because there's
Yeah.
so much. I'm not even like an expert to it. But I've always um I was always curious the about Black history, and now I'm actually lucky enough that I learn it firsthand because my fiance is African American.
Uh-huh.
So um yeah, so it's kind of not only that it's not only feeding my curiosity but also
Uh-huh.
my personal life too. That's why I educated myself more than I wanted to primarily because of that. But it's very sad. There are some movies that you can actually start yourself into it. um One is Just Mercy. That movie, it's by Michael
Yeah.
B. Jordan. It's
Okay.
a new movie. It just came out last year. You
Uh-huh.
can actually see how evil and torturous United States was.
Yeah.
Not just United States. Like I said, it's a
Yeah.
world thing, racism and stuff like that. But
Wait.
primarily here in United States, um that one, so Just Mercy, number one. Number two is Detroit. Detroit is the worst movie. not because it was badly written or the cinematography was it's worse because it actually happened in real life. It's about a group of African Americans who were trapped in this house and got interrogated by white police or white law enforcement. And
Wow.
then it's just a story of how they were treated, how they were. It was just one of those things. I watched it in the theaters. I wanted to leave, and then my fiance was like, "Well, why do you want to leave? This is reality." I mean, it was just too much. Just like how people left for Joker because they felt like it was too much and it was too real. That's how I felt because it actually opened my eyes to like reality, how they
Yeah.
were treated before. Because like every the general knowledge of African Americans was because it was they were slaves. If you remember back in high school, we watched this movie
Um,
Hotel Rwanda. You remember that movie? It was one of our
ours was different. Yeah, ours was
Hotel
different.
Rwanda and Black Diamond.
Black Diamond. I think that was the movie that we watched. But
Yeah.
I
So
don't
you know
remember
the
watching
Give Us
Hotel
Us
Rwanda.
Free movie? You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
of
that
course.
one, that's not that's one of the if you watch it again right now, it's
Uh-huh.
gonna hit you differently because you're more knowledgeable of what's
You're
happening
more matured.
in the world. But
Yeah.
like I said, you can watch Just Mercy. These are the three top movies that I watched. There's so much more. There are even TV shows about the Park Five, but I think it's best if you start with Just Mercy. Um, and
Yeah, for
then
sure. For
Detroit,
sure.
and then also The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give is more mellow, but it talks about the real Black Panthers.
Uh-huh.
It's not
Let me look that one up.
educationally it's cool to learn about it, so
Just
you'll be
Mercy.
more open and you can actually limit yourself. um the N word, you'll know
Yeah.
why it's not acceptable in.
Okay. Yo, wait, what happened?
Bless you.
Use the N word even in singing songs. Even
Yeah.
before, I've never called someone like my N word or something that people think that it's cool. It actually has
Mm-hmm.
a history in there. So for people out there who are listening or who would be watching this, I I do not um I condone people. Well, not condone, sorry, that's very heavy, but I suggest not to use that word because it's not used to just look cool. Like
Yeah.
how people, at least in the Philippines, and this is based in my experience, people
I don't
use that word to feel like they're cool because it's in songs and stuff like that.
yeah.
I suggest you educate yourself as to where the word was derived from and what it really means because there's so much history to it that I
There's so
think
much.
you'll
Yeah.
totally change your outlook in not even just with the black community and black people but also like being in minority. Us Asians here in America, we're considered as minority.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. Minorities. But
But yeah.
I think I think being having that sense of mentality of being I think people tend to overthink. Is that I don't know if that's the correct word because yeah we're compared to I don't want to dive into it, but I just don't care about if I'm a minority or not. I just care about being living life the way I want to. That's just it. And I think some people are just uneducated about those things, and
That I
they
but I
try.
think But I think once you watch those movies and actually, understand what's happening, you'll actually feel powerful being a minority.
Of course, you know,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, they would shed light on these types of issues, just to make people realize the the reality of you know these types of issues exist. And
Uh, that's the thing for you and I, It's probably, or I don't know even May. You we didn't live through this sort of thing that haven't been treated, or I would say uh, show discrimination against. Because first of all, most of us lived in Philippines for the longest time,
of course,
and
almost all of our life.
yeah, so
I,
we don't really see it because we are not minority, but people who grow up in the foreign country, and there's especially if there are so many different races.
yeah,
The place like Dubai is a good example because a lot of different races you see, and I wouldn't say there is a minority here because the
everybody's yeah,
everybody is there, everybody
everybody's
is
there,
migrant. But yeah,
right?
everybody is migrant. Yeah. But the I mean, I think it's U.S. or other European country that people
But
migrate to.
but
That's a different
does
story.
it still does it still emphasize on the fact that there's a minority and there's a know majority types of people over there in Dubai? Because as you said, like there's all kinds of people over there. So is there like a minority? Is there?
I mean,
I mean, apart from the sheiks, right? I mean, those guys are fucking loaded, right?
yeah, I mean
Apart
the
from that,
people who are
apart from
resident,
those guys.
the local resident. Obviously, this is their country, but for the uh, migrants, I mean, we are especially treated very well here.
Yeah,
Majority of us, yeah. I mean, they have this sort of a slogan that they want. It's all about uh, what do you call it? It's all about tolerance. I
yeah.
think I think last year or the year before, they uh, they invited a pope here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first visits of pope to a Muslim country, which
Ever?
was interesting. I'm not can't say for sure, but I think it was the first time in Dubai.
Speaking of the Pope, you guys heard about this?
Yeah,
You guys heard
I
about
know you
that?
were going. When I said it,
Oh,
I knew you were going.
yeah, I was going to I was going to that direction. Bro, he fucking like I think no, she was a porn star, right? Was she a
No,
porn
she
star?
was
Did you know
ass
about this,
model.
Mai? Did you know about this?
No,
Bro,
no.
the Instagram account of the Pope, he liked a certain photo, you know, and I don't really want to get into it, but all I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say is this: I'm gonna keep it 100 on a stack, 50-50, Skrilla for you guys. Dude, the Pope's an
I'm
ass
pretty.
man. The Pope is an ass man, bro. Based
God.
on the photo that he liked, the Pope. I mean, the Pope is just keeping it real. You know,
Frick.
he's just keeping it real, bro. He's an ass man. He's an ass man,
Probably, it's
Goodness.
probably,
right,
it's probably he wasn't the one who liked it because these people, these sort of people, they have some
bro?
people.
He liked that picture 100%, bro. He
He
was the one,
his Instagram I thought liked it, but if he's handling that Instagram himself, it's a different
bro. Who
story.
else is gonna handle that shit,
Oh shit! A lot
right,
of for example, famous people have other
bro?
people
A
hired
hundred
to take care
percent,
of.
he liked that picture. 100%. There's no way, like his,
So,
uh, maybe under people under him are gonna like some pictures for him, bro. He was
a
on
mistake.
his phone. He was sitting he was sitting on his, bathtub or whatever, and it was fiddling around Instagram. And he goes, "Hey, I like this photo." Boom, and the whole world went crazy,
At the end of the day,
right?
it was a God creation. So
Hey,
what's the problem with
let's.
that?
It is what it is. It is what it is. God made that person. You know, he made that person into his image and likeness. And guess what? The Pope liked it. The Pope
Yeah,
liked the ass, bro. He liked it. It is what it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
right?
No two ways
Oh
about it.
my goodness.
There's
I
no
just saw
other
it.
way. There's no
I just
other
Just
way
saw
like,
around it,
it.
right?
uh,
Bro, the Pope is just keeping it real, guys. No,
Oh, oh my
bro,
goodness.
don't hate the player, hate the game. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. The Pope is just
I just
the
saw
Pope is
it.
just
Yeah.
keeping it real, you know.
Oh goodness.
But
I don't know.
you know, y-
I try not to follow anything religious because I've been following
yeah,
everything
but
political.
that was a
So
meme that I thought was fake until I
yeah,
saw the exact the Instagram
the
image and
report
like
about it.
yeah, and once when you like something and then your like your name your uh handler pops out on the
Yeah, the
picture just below that.
algorithms
Yeah.
of social
And then
media.
yeah, and then the
Okay.
Pope's name was right there, and I'm like, it wasn't a meme. It was like it really happened, and I'm glad it did. Actually glad it happened
You're
because
glad it happened?
you
What
know
does
why,
that supposed to
bro?
mean?
Like I said, the Pope is just keeping it real. You know, he keeps it. He calls us paid as paid, bro. Right? He's just keeping it real. He was just a lonely
I don't
guy, maybe. You know,
we
but
are human beings. That's all I
we're
can say.
yeah. You
We
know,
have needs
we have needs.
scientifically.
We had needs, and apparently the Pope couldn't contain himself, and then the whole world knew about it. But
Uh,
yo, shout out to the
I'll
Pope, keeping
try.
it real. Shout out to the Pope, keeping it real. 100%. He's keeping it 100 on a stack.
I'm trying not to say anything about religion, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm just gonna keep my
No,
mouth
I'm not gonna
shut.
lie. I thought it was a religion thing. When that issue came about, I thought it was, oh my god, they're trying to lure other people to this kind of religion. But when I opened it and then it came out like, hey, hey, and
It's
I
actually the Pope.
yes, and I didn't even look at the picture. I went straight down to the comments, and
It's the
boy,
actual
it was
Pope
a
in
fucking gold
Vatican.
mine. It was a gold mine, bro. Like all these clever people who made comments about the Pope.
mhm.
I think wait, I'm remembering something. One guy, I think he commented about the Pope's. Yeah. He said, uh, wait, what was it again? Uh, yeah. The Pope. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. The Pope was an ass man. What else? I think there was a lot of things people commented about that picture, and it was
But
hilarious. I was having the time of my life looking at the comments.
when
I
I
gotta be
see
honest.
this, when I saw this post, I was like 80% sure it's gonna come
Yeah,
up in this
right,
topic.
right. I had my doubts about that post, but I open it. Guess what? The Pope was just keeping it real.
It's okay.
It's okay, Pope. You're my dog. Here's our, yeah, he's our dog. But it's good, to have that kind of issues instead of like being serious about it. And I think that was really. I think maybe it's a marketing strategy, or I don't know. Maybe the Pope's not. He hasn't been in the spotlight for a long time. And then this story pops out, and you kind of second guess the timing of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know,
I understand what you're trying to say.
y- you know, um, I don't know. Maybe he was just maybe being too real, You know, but again, I'm gonna keep it 100 on the stack, bro. The guy is just keeping it real. He loved that ass. That's why he liked it. Nothing wrong about it, right?
No,
None, right? If you like
nobody said that.
something, yeah,
Like, go for it.
I guess it depends what type of person you are. I'm pretty sure the Catholics out there right now are very very disappointed
yeah,
with the
the
Pope.
hardcore ones, maybe.
There are some people who, especially the here I am again. Can't remember what word it is.
No, it's all right.
Just fast forward 20 minutes
Let's
forward.
yeah. From this point, everybody's watching. Just fast forward at 20 minutes.
We're gonna
You guys are gonna, you guys
time
are gonna get
stamp
it,
in the speed with the
guys. We're gonna save you some time. Just move forward 20 minutes from this,
Yeah.
like, from this clip. But it's good, man. It's I like asses, women's asses in particular. You know,
Who does?
I mean, who doesn't, right?
and that's 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Agnostics, like people who don't believe in God.
Agnostic.
Oh,
right?
stop cheating, man. You're just are you receiving?
Did you just look it up on Google just
I
now?
did.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
That's all
busy
right.
looking down at the cell phone.
Yeah, she
but-
was
Atheists.
busy.
That okay. So
Atheist, right?
there's agnostics and atheists. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
Those,
I'm sweating. It's so
yeah.
embarrassed. So there are some people out there
Agnostics.
going back. There are some people out there who would like say, "Cool, man. Like you gotta do what you gotta do."
Right?
But in the religious aspect, I'm sorry, I'm still laughing with myself.
Keeping it real, bro. The
In
Pope is just
the in
keeping it real.
the in the religious
Pope's my
aspect of
dog,
it,
anyway.
especially people, countries such as the Philippines, who is heavy on Roman Catholics, who believe in
Yeah,
the Pope
but
that much as their religious leader. I'm pretty sure they're quite maybe even some are questioning
yeah,
catechism now.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because the Pope is just, I don't want to say exposed, but he's just keeping it real. That's about it. That's about it, really. No other way around it. But
it's true.
speaking of asses, my what do you call this? I couldn't
Uh,
I couldn't remember the time where oh wait. No, I remember. I remember when I got my ass kicked for the first time.
literally.
Yeah, I was like maybe first grade. You see, when I was in grade school, I was a nerdy dude. I was an avid fan of Street Fighter, the card game. You know that one? The Pog,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
the Pog, right? I think
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh didn't exist yet. This was way
Mm.
back, like
I know
90.
the little thin ones, and then you like the way that you play it is you clap with the
You clap,
person, and then if it lands on the front page or the front of the card, you get it or something like that,
yeah,
right?
but that's one part of it, but ultimately is like it's when you put your card on a certain deck, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
guy turns it over, and then he counts how many
Mhm.
people are in the
Mhm.
card, as opposed to the other card, which is his. If that if his card has more characters on it than mine, he'll
Points.
get
Yeah.
he'll
Okay.
get the card, and that kind of shit. So
Mhm.
like I think I was playing that game, and then this bully came in and just punched me at the back. I was really small, and I had glasses on, and my glasses at that time, they had like
Bro.
yeah, they broke. Not to mention the, what do you call that one? This one, like
Sling?
it's a
Hey,
sling. So when you take it
Uh-huh.
uh,
off, it hangs on your neck.
Oh, so you pretty much he
Yeah, I
choked
think
you too?
no, he didn't choke me. He just punched me on the back for
This is
no reason.
right. What's his name?
I forgot his name. I forgot his name.
Damn.
Swear to God, I
I
forgot
gotta
his
go
name.
there. Teach him a lesson.
I, I was thinking about it, but I don't think it matters anymore. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he has a family right now. He has a kid. Good
After
luck to
It
him.
40 years,
But
matters.
yeah, good luck
do
to
you
him.
remember?
But I still remember though. I still remember the pain of being bullied.
Oh,
But
Briggs.
what's crazy? When I was in high school, I was the one bullying. That was the
I
crazy part.
bet.
But you bet. But the crazy part about that is, okay, so when I was in like third year, all of my classmates voted me as the number one bully. Oh wait, not the number one. I'm
If
at the
you're a
top.
bully
Like
or jokester, because there's a big
it's
difference between a
there.
bully and a
Yeah, but
jokester.
my classmates didn't know about the difference. They all
Oh,
know that I played practical jokes on this guy, and when I was in third year high school, I was a top three bully in our class. And what's crazy about it is that the guy that I'm playing jokes on is my friend.
now. Is
No,
that you, Mehrdad? Oh, I'm just
no,
kidding.
no. I
Oh,
met Mehrdad.
no, no.
No, I
Is
met
that the
I was,
twist
Mehrdad
in
when we
this
were
I
in
was,
podcast?
college.
I was the guy who punched him in the back from the back.
I think he was the guy who punched me at the back. But anyway, um,
Yeah.
yeah, my fucking classmates voted me as the top three, you know, bullies in the classroom. I was like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Like the guy that I'm playing jokes on is actually my friend. And it turns out, no, he was my friend, and this is a true story. We were classmates for 3 years in a row. So,
Mhm.
second year, third year, fourth year, we were classmates. And then like all of my classmates say, "Hey man, what are you talking about? You were a bully. You bullied this guy." And I go, "Yeah, but he's my friend. That's what friends do, right?" And I was
Yeah.
like, and then the you go to the fucking prefect's office. You tell him, "Okay, why are you a bully? Who's the guy you're bullying?" And I go, "It's my friend." And after that, a certain things came about, and I almost got suspended, but luckily I wasn't. But I don't know, man. I sometimes I don't get you know other people's mind. Like the way of thinking is just way off. And from that point on, I was like I had this realization that, wait, people think this way. They would even
You would be surprised.
yeah. I was more than
You were
surprised.
surprised.
Yeah, I was more than surprised. Like people would think this way, and they would assume like I was bullying this guy, like I hated this guy, and it turns out he was one of my closest friends. And that
Mhm.
was like my way of
Showing your
uh
love.
yeah, appreciating that guy.
That's your
It
love
turns
language. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're being
I mean he
playful.
does. Okay, to be fair, he does that to me, but not more than I do to him. So it's kind of like
Less
although
public,
he does,
as
yeah,
you can say.
it was
Yeah.
less public. I was a public, I was publicly
You like
bullying him.
PDA too much.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
You like the public
Yeah,
display of affection.
yeah. From that point on, I was like, dude, I'm done with these people. I'm done with these people who think this way. Like,
But
I
you
don't know, man. It's
that
like
that was in high
that
school.
was in high
The
school,
way I
but
remember high school is people were so caught up on what they their reputations. Let's just say that.
I don't really
Um,
give a shit
people
about
who
that.
are yeah,
Yeah.
people who were bored were looking at other people's lives. I mean, it still happens right now in adulthood, but
Yeah.
it actually happens a lot in high school. So
I think.
yeah, and it really depends on which circle you were in, I guess, or like the
Oh my
category
god.
that people put you
Right.
to, because
Uh-huh.
there are some people who, like, here I am again. Why can't I think of
No,
There's
don't
an
that
worry about
improvement
that.
group
there. 5 minutes
Don't worry
forward.
about
Five
that.
minutes forward.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come in like a few
that
minutes from
group
now.
in school,
It's gonna come in.
your cliche in school. It's either you're the jock or the nerd or stuff like that, and people would actually categorize you to how you present yourself wherever it is. For me, I was categorized in like different ones. Um,
Which was
I s-
Mm-hmm.
I started being the nerd. And then in high school it became like the cheerleader type. And then when I got into the honors section, I was back to being the nerd type. And
Uh,
then
you were
you
a
know
nerd.
I was. I
Nerd.
know. It's it was one of those things that
Nerd.
it was one of those things that I was actually like before it was such a bad thing that I kind of took offense to it. But then when I met my friends from the honor section, they were so cool. I mean, if you
Of
talk to them, right,
course,
I can pull up one of my friends, right?
because you guys
And then
you guys share the same interests. That's why it's
yeah,
cool.
I
You
mean,
found your
it's like
company.
I think people know me to be like that cheerleader cliche because I perform a lot in school, but I
Uh-huh.
really enjoyed my honors section year. It was just they're very extreme. I can like you if you guys want to pull out guests, I have a perfect guest to
Sure.
um actually
Yeah.
put in our
Let's get
podcast.
him. Let's get him or
She's
her to the
actually
show.
yeah, she's actually my friend who works for NASA. So
Wow.
she can
Oh my
actually
god. That's actually an interesting guess.
so
We
yeah,
gotta
but
get her.
anyway, yeah, I'll ask her
Yeah. Ask
and
her.
then
I
we'll
got a few
see.
questions about you know.
just tell him we
But
cannot dumb things down because we're not that intelligent.
Yeah. Tell your friend to tone things down
I
because
will.
like
I
I
will.
think she's gonna yeah. But that is
But
like the most interesting.
yeah,
Like
so
NASA.
it's
Wow.
just it was just one of those things that you would actually think that you thought that these group of people, I'm pretty sure you guys know someone from the honor section.
Yeah.
They're kind
Oh,
of
yep.
the section because they you would understand. Okay, so people who didn't attend our university, it starts in the fourth grade to sixth grade. You'll be stuck with the same people, like each and every
Wait. What?
subject, each and every class, each and
Fourth
every
grade?
yeah. It starts from fourth grade to sixth grade, and then high school,
Oh,
and usually
you're talking about the honors section, right?
honors
Oh,
class.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to say is that they're kind of like separated from the real world. And
Yeah.
my friend will tell you about it. There's just so much in stories
Yeah.
that like if we're really going to dig deep on like the how people's personalities are molded, um and how their childhoods were, especially in high school when people
Of
know
course.
what their identities are.
Hmm.
It's actually quite interesting.
Yeah. You know, we gotta get that person in
I
to
will.
be our next
I'm
guest.
pretty
But
sure she's game for it.
I actually talked to some people, but some of them were excited about the idea of getting into this podcast, but some of them were afraid because they were afraid of what people might think of them. Like,
Why?
I don't know. They told me like, what if they did this? What if they pronounced something wrong? Why, all it just
Even irregular words.
yeah, just fucking regular words, bro.
And most of it we don't remember. That's the problem.
That's that's why we have Twitch. That's why we have this podcast recorded automatically. But
Please,
you know,
But
do-
yeah, it's cool. I mean, I understand what those people are trying to say because my
yeah,
fiance is actually
they're intimidated by
worried
it.
about stuff that I might say
Yeah.
publicly.
Mhm.
But I guess it's like, if you're real and you're open-minded, it's one of these kinds of things like what Briggs and I were saying the first episode, Mehrdad, is this is type of a podcast wherein it's just literally there are no topics. It's just whatever goes in your
I
head.
don't like
I
that
mean,
setting because you're just limiting
yeah,
yourself. I don't like
yeah.
that one.
But it's like, like real conversations. People need
It's
conversations out there.
yeah,
Twitch is one of
something they
those
can
things
relate
that
to
if
on a daily
it's they
basis.
catch it live. Last
Yeah.
last time actually Merdad, Jed, our friend, Jed, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jade
Yeah, Jed
Jed came into
actually
the
joined us for
podcast.
like a couple minutes and it
He
was kind of fun. So
he messaged
it's
it was on yeah,
yeah.
he messaged us.
There's really nothing to be
He was
there's
chatting.
nothing to be careful of course we always have to be careful, but it's just if you know what you're talking about, talk about it. If not, then pretty much say I don't know. Educate me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're
And
not
now
that famous.
we have
Cancelled.
the power of Google. Like
Yeah, just
we
fucking
can always like
just fucking Google that shit. Just like what
yeah,
just like what Mai
GSI
did a while ago. Just like what she did a while ago. You know?
it. GTS. That's what we call
It
GTS.
saved us
Google that shit.
15 minutes. But, yeah, I mean,
This podcast is sponsored by Google Translate,
oh my god.
Google Synonym.
I think we gotta have another guest, or like maybe a guest every other week, maybe.
Yeah, we should. Let me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
I'll
yeah.
look into it.
So anyway, I'm
I
looking
can
at
bring
the
a lot of yeah, I can bring a lot of interesting people. Depends on like what
yeah, we could like
topics you want to talk about.
just about anything really, if if
Yeah,
he or
I can take
she,
in a conversationalist in here.
yeah, like yeah, whoever, just like to
Yeah,
talk to
you know what?
open-minded
What's
people.
interesting? Maybe you can bring. I can search who your exes are, and then I'll just be like, okay, guys, this person is gonna join us, and both of you will be like, oh my god.
That's actually not a bad idea. Bringing your
Is
ex
it
here.
like once? Yeah,
It's
once
fucking you, bro. That's one of the craziest thing you could ever do, but it's the most
I know,
interesting.
I know my fiance would love that shit because I haven't really to my exes.
Let me research on who your exes are, and I'll make a way.
Oh
You
my
won't be
god,
able to find them.
you won't be able to find
They're already dead.
it.
No, I
What
don't
the
even
hell?
have Facebook, so I can't. But
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
yeah, of course, but maybe every other week because
Yep.
we gotta. I think this podcast, just it's like a weekly podcast if you think about it, right? It's where we talk about things outside of work because we were used to working the whole week, and this is just like an avenue of releasing that stress or just merely talking to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
And
I don't think we mentioned it last time, but this podcast is called "What Time Is It?" because all three of us are
in a
from
different
different
time zone.
countries and
Yeah.
different time zones,
Uh
and
huh.
we started. We almost did not start because of
It was a
we
long
almost didn't
process. Let's just leave it at that.
figuring out
Let's
what
just leave it at
what
that.
time is it on this time and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
my dad is in Dubai, I'm in California, USA, and then
Yeah.
Briggs is in the
In the
Philippines.
Philippines,
So
but
we're like
it is what it is.
totally different time zones.
Yeah,
So
but the thing about me is like I sleep in the afternoon, so at this time it's actually 4:20. So it's it's right up in my alley.
yeah,
You know.
I don't I can't I sleep at around 10 o'clock every night now, not like before when I can just,
Yeah,
not
it's
sleep
because
at
of
all.
work, right?
My record is actually, well, yeah, pretty much. My record of not sleeping straight is actually 84 hours.
84 hours. How many days
No
is that?
sleep for 84 hours.
3.5 days? Oh,
Kind of something like that.
Hey, what
four,
happened?
But
four, like four. Wow.
You were not
yeah.
remembering the word? 84
Is that
hours?
is that why you keep remembering the words? That incident? I think.
No.
Wait,
Maybe
weren't you the
that's
person
why
who told me to go to sleep?
my body is now paying for it now that I'm,
Yeah.
older, and the
You-
things that I
You're
did when
not
I was
old.
younger. Oh,
Yeah,
I
you're
said
not old.
older.
You're
Okay,
older,
then
but
less young.
In the air there, man.
that's one way of putting it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but I think, my body is catching up to the things that I did when I was younger.
I don't
So,
like that one. But
because like that sleep, that's why people need to sleep. It's when the neurotransmitters that actually contribute to your memory,
uh
that's when they are actually activated and actually revitalized, if you can say, re-energized or whatever. But yeah, I lack a lot of sleep. I drank too much. That's why my liver is fucked up right now. uh,
I mean,
so again, like I said last time, kids stay in school, go to bed.
go to bed early.
I think I have this also same the liver problem. I think I don't know. I know a couple of friends, close friends that have liver problem. I don't know. Our group, I think,
Yeah.
just drank too much.
Yeah, I
I
think.
drank a lot back, especially back in college. I drank
Same.
a lot. I smoked a lot. I was just like, phew.
But
There was
I
it.
gotta ask you this. I gotta ask you this question. If
Mhm.
you were to go back in time, would you do it over again?
Yes,
Yeah, right.
I do not
Uh,
regret anything.
Right. I think it
Same.
goes
Different course though. Different course for me.
different, different college course.
Yeah.
Why? What did you take? What did you major in?
Architecture.
Why?
Oh, that's
Wait,
where I know you from.
wait. Why?
Okay.
I got. I gotta know this. Why?
I don't know if you ask every architect or at least majority of them, they would say, if I had knew what I know now, I would probably major in something different.
Okay.
Just a lot of hard work and less, I would say, uh, we call that
So, is it
satisfaction.
safe to say that it's not as rewarding as you thought it would be?
Yeah, I mean, you should have a passion for it, but almost uh,
I think.
because
Let
I think
me
the
tell you
problem
this.
is you're not getting paid enough.
No,
I think
I've
that.
I've
I
seen
get
I've
paid.
seen
Yeah, it shows on your computer. Tell me about it.
I've seen
You
I've
gotta.
seen architecture students, especially from our university, that work their asses off. I dated someone who was an architecture student before. Um,
Can you
I
believe it?
actually was. You know them. You know him.
It's Jed.
I actually had. Jed is my
Uh, my
best
It's
bud.
Jed.
my
He's just so
condolences
weird,
to you, man.
but
My condolences.
but I've seen how much they work. They like work until like 4 a.m. in the morning. Like
Yeah.
I even help them do their models. Like use their whatever. It's just one of those things. And my sister is actually, my younger sister was an architecture major, and she actually stays in school until like 4 a.m. in the morning. And I just actually learned that sometimes she even stays and sleeps in school in one of those drafting classrooms there
Damn.
But she's
Really?
still
in,
a
yeah,
student.
in W2.
Okay, yeah.
The Yeah, so she sleeps there sometimes.
Is she still in the school?
No, she's here now, but she wasn't able to graduate because she moved here, but she had like one semester left. But yeah, I know how they work there. So I cannot speak to the actual people who studied architecture in our, even not, I'm pretty sure it's not even just in our university, who just studied architecture. The the it's just from the materials to the amount of time that they have to dedicate to all the projects and the draftings and stuff. It's just,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it
one
was
thing I
a
don't get
lot.
about architecture, bro. It's like you gotta know a lot of things in a short amount of time. Is that safe to say? Is that does that make
I
sense
mean,
in your
it's very
profession?
comprehensive. Yeah, it's a very comprehensive profession.
Like,
Yeah, comprehensive, but it's progressive too, because it
Yeah,
actually depends on
never
what's,
stops.
the modernization of the buildings and
yeah,
the design of interior. Here's the thing: a lot of people would say that architects, they don't need architects because they have engineers, especially in buildings. But
uh,
Merdad, you can correct me on this, but architects are actually the ones who are the creative minds behind it. Engineers, they specialize on the structure itself, but architects, they actually study what's gonna be in that certain building, the measurements, the design, the, like what Merdad said, when he needs to actually count the number of steps in the stairs. Now they study the colors, the psychology behind the colors that they use, the material that they use even. So
I mean, the thing is, this is the only argument that I have only seen in Philippines, that the architects and engineers are always fighting with each other
what?
yeah,
rather than collaborating with
we
Why?
one
don't.
another.
Why would they?
Uh, Engineers, they
Aren't they
say,
trying to accomplish the same thing?
can design a house. Uh, the thing is, for example, architects usually, when we design, approach something for a design, we look after the soul of the place.
Okay.
Try to approach it that way.
Uh
Engineering side, you look at the stability of a place. So
huh.
you are approaching at the same matter in a different approach. And frankly speaking, an engineer can design a house, even an architect can also design a house, but it's just a matter of what you get from it. For if obviously there are a lot of talented engineers out there,
Of
but
course.
in my opinion, at least, if you want to have your house done in a way that sort of has a meaning or soul for your there's a soul to it, I
Uh
would
huh.
say go to talk to the architect because they
Yeah,
are really want to they bring out your vision or
yeah, that's what I
what you
was trying to say. It's the creative side of a structure. That's
yeah,
what the
correct.
architects do.
Then obviously engineers are 100% required to be involved in the process so the building is safe. Funny enough, a lot of engineers agree with this sentiment as well. It's just like I don't know, uh, some feel that they don't agree, and there's a whole mindset of the clients that, oh, why I'm paying for the architect, I can pay for engineer
Hmm.
and actually contractor design it for me.
Wow. I mean, isn't that like I don't get it why they would disagree on something they're trying to build on. I don't I don't really get that. Maybe it's just an ego thing, right?
I mean, it's
Deeper.
Suppose.
There's a
I mean,
deeper
Deeper.
history
Yeah.
in that one.
Is that like a chain of
Yeah.
command thing or not?
No,
Is that like
I don't even think there's like a greater one. It's just
a
two
hierarchy
different.
level
Yeah, I don't think
level?
there is a hierarchy, like what's greater, an architect or an engineer.
Yeah.
It's just people, like you said, that don't they, design the same thing. It's two different, totally different
Uh huh.
professions,
Yep.
but they do team up in a lot of projects. That's why they have that stigma with each other.
and
Oh.
It's just like, yeah,
I mean, it's just basically, I would say, uh, it's just a matter of also saying that who wants to be the lead designer in a project. And for example, we
Okay.
usually when hire a client, we say The client hires an architect. The architects go ahead and find the necessary engineers for the job, like a plumber, civil engineer, and uh, so on. Vice versa, if an engineer gets a job, uh, can easily quit the engineers, architects to design for them, or just for themselves, just to sign it. It's just a matter of the laws as well. And at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to the money. Who gets a
To
big
the
chunk
money.
of? Yeah.
It's on the client too, I guess. Like I said, I am never gonna be an architect nor an engineer, but
Yeah, I
that's what
can't.
I
I'm
observe.
just too stupid for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not artistic enough. I can't even draw a straight line even with a ruler.
I can't even like calculate things. I think because I was I was they kicked me out
What
over in
what did you major in, Briggs?
first I majored in engineering, which obviously
Civil?
no computer.
Okay.
Obviously that didn't work. So the school, which will not be mentioned, and it's not Ateneo.
Eh,
So yeah, I
mm,
got kicked out, and then I went into business, and that was
Business
it.
management?
And yeah, business management, and I think for me it didn't it didn't make that drastic effect on me. It was kind of like just having a degree, not really learning about the things uh, at that point.
Mhm.
Because once you get all right, this is a true story, by the way. So when I got kicked out, I was really down on myself, you know, and when I told my mother about this. So she said, and the good thing about uh that kind of event was I learned that no, but everybody is special, and I'm gonna get into it as I tell the story. So anyway, uh, went back home. This was like what, first semester. So once you get kicked out, they're gonna send you a letter, and that letter, I swore I should have threw that letter into the trash can, but my mom got into it first, so she read it. Oh wait, I think I handed it over to my mother. I think I did. So when I handed the letter to her, she read about it, and the good thing about that was she wasn't mad. She wasn't mad at me. It was all down to you know what are you gonna do about it? That's about it. She wasn't angry at me. She didn't curse at me. She just told me, so what are you gonna do about it? And I go, I'm gonna try again, but this time, um, gonna be a different course in a different school. So I did that, and you know what? When I did that, all of my sisters came into the dining room. They were all worried about me, and they told me this. Um, you know, you're throwing your life away, like all those types of shit. Like you didn't really want to pay attention to because it was all nonsense. But I sat there and took it, and it took me like what 2 hours just listening to their advice, which I didn't really get it because my mother said just go to another school and take another course. That's about it. Like my mother and I, she didn't we didn't have that pep talk about education. She just said to me that do the best that you can while you can. That's about it. That's it. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
So after that, you know, so after that, it took me like what 6 years to graduate college. And my point being is, I am very lucky that that event happened, because if I knew I was good at something, you know, like if I was good in something, I wouldn't I wouldn't notice my weaknesses. And also, when that happened, it led me to believe that I really need to work on my, skills, or maybe just about, just having that ability to thrive and persevere. I think
Again,
that was those
experience is
two.
the best teacher.
Yeah, I mean, um,
Experience is the best teacher. It's you wouldn't really know when to succeed or what you can succeed if you haven't really tried to fail on something.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know what level I was on had I not failed at that point. Yeah, you wouldn't know how good you are unless somebody, steps in and, you know, proves to you that, he's better than you. And I think, some people would take that as a challenge, or they would be intimidated by it. And I think the key here is just being able to push through just about anything in your life. And I'm glad, dude. I am so glad that I got kicked out of that school, because I learned new things. I met a lot of people. I discovered a lot of things.
Cooler people like me and Mehrdad, not
Of
like the
course.
people who are like just kidding.
Or
No,
Jet.
no. Oh my God, poor Jed. No, no.
Hey, I didn't even know I
Okay.
was talking about people from your old school, wherever that is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Why are
sorry.
you guys bullying Jed?
No, no, we're not bullying Jed. But anyway, I'm glad that a significant event such as me getting kicked out of school happened. And um I think we, as humans, we tend to overthink some things. And from that point, I didn't really overthink about it, because my mother was there. She was. And what I like about that is that my mother wasn't, she wasn't panicking, or she wasn't being hysterical about it. And she just told me, "What are you gonna do about it?" That's the only thing that I needed from her, and that really catapulted me to just about just finishing college. And but the thing about my journey is, when with hindsight, I look back at it again, my purpose wasn't really, you know, learning. It was just going to the finish line as fast as I could. That was it. I didn't learn, to be honest with you guys, I learned some things, but not as much as I should have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Going
yeah,
you do it again.
going back, of course I do it
Same.
again in a heartbeat. Same way.
About same
Same
way,
way.
exactly.
Same
Would that improve?
exactly. What?
Would that improve knowing what you know?
Yeah, obviously. That's about it. Like
Not so
I
much on the experiences and the lessons that you've learned, but maybe if we were going to go back to how it was, then maybe improve the things that we
yeah, of
didn't
course,
really
no
know
doubt about
about.
it. I'm not saying I could
Yeah,
go. Yeah, I'm not saying just that, but also trying
yeah,
to improve some of the things that
yeah.
I need to. Had I gone back, had I gone back to the time again and do it same way, but
Hmm.
just being able to improve, some things about those kinds of lessons that happened way before. And I think everybody who's watching, you gotta look past of your failures, and just being able to, like I said, it's as like somebody said, it's not about uh how many times you go down. It's how many times you get back up, right? So with that sense, I
Rocky
kind of
flips.
I kind of hate about this. This is my pet peeve, right? So when somebody fails, everybody looks at that person like he's a failure, like he's not gonna make it, right? I hate. This is the first time I'm using the word hate, by the way. I hate those kinds of people, like when you I don't know, maybe misspell a word, that, and they kind of label you as a failure or weak. I hate those kinds of people because I think those kinds of people.
Everywhere.
uh, I know, right? Although
Yeah.
although we have a sense of, I don't want to say we're obliged to do our best, but I kind of get it, right? You gotta you try to push yourselves to our limit,
To be good.
to be good,
We
to,
try
to
to be
be
the
to
good
be
or the
special,
best that we can be. Yeah.
yeah, that's actually what sets us apart from other people, is our ability to have this talent, like, more than others. And I think some of it, some people get twisted sometimes, when they see somebody fail, they think, oh, he's not gonna make it, right?
That
He's not
just
gonna do it.
speaks so, yeah, that speaks too much, Sean, or so much about that certain person who
And
only sees the negative on
yeah,
everything pretty much. It's not just the
I
people
hate
that
about that one.
he or
I hate.
she, yeah,
I just
they
I
encounter,
don't like
but
it.
it's also, yeah, it's also how they perceive their lives.
Yeah,
Most
because
of the,
yeah, yeah. I like to point out what you said. I think most of those people who think about, like, they're perfect, they do not make any mistakes. I think those people are the types of people who, like, are on the safe road. Like, they never they never took a chance on anything in their lives. Is that safe to say?
yep, they never
Yep.
stepped out of their
They
comfort
never,
zone.
yeah, they never really lived life the way they should have. I mean, there's more to life than but playing it safe. And I think those people, like, I just feel sorry for them because they're living a short life. I
These
mean,
people are the close-minded ones.
and
They try to be,
what's
they
the
tend to
worst
be
part
the ones who
about,
are stuck.
yeah,
Hmm.
what's the worst part about that is sometimes they're your family. That's fucked
Yeah,
up. That is fucked up, bro.
yeah. I mean,
That is
there
fucked up.
are, that's why I always tell my friends whenever they do have problems, they come to me. Sometimes you just really have to be alone. And
Yeah,
like not even not even like in the relationships or whatever. Sometimes you just have to lay down and be yourself and be with yourself rather, and then just reflect on where you are in life and stuff like
yeah,
that,
it's
because there are a lot of people who think that, like, I guess you can put social media into this. They can't live without talking to anyone. Like um they lack the sense of self-awareness, I guess. They're too
yeah.
aware of what's happening around them, but they didn't take a time, or
Mm-hmm.
they didn't take time, sorry. They didn't take time to reflect on themselves, or even like the popular term soul search on what they really believe in life, and be aware on, people's, well, not even that, just about themselves.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, along with that one, you also have to have your support system. Like, find one or two people that know who you are and you as a person all about. And I stick to them. If you have an issue,
I think the another way to put it is, I think people have to stop romanticizing being the fact, or the theory of being popular or having fame is how life is supposed to be. Not just because, the especially for the young people nowadays, most of them TikTokers and YouTubers, and that's what that's how they were, or that's what's presented to them. Sorry. um I just feel like most of these people don't have that time for themselves to just think about themselves. Eh, Trust me when I say this, especially to young people. You would think that you know everything now, because I'm not saying that you will not learn from society, but what I'm trying to say is it's not the only way to learn. If you give at least like just 2 hours of not holding your phone, or not even just think and reflect on where you are in life right now, you would actually discover
Yeah.
a lot. You would learn a lot about yourself. And not even once you're older or what, but even like there and then, you would think that, oh shit, I want to do this again. Or you would even think, I want to try this and stuff like that. So yeah, again, those people, I hope that they hear us right now.
Yeah, of
Because
course. Of course.
there's so much happening in the world that people shouldn't stress about, because it's not their lives anyway. you know these people, I think there's just so many things happening in their lives, that the way that they approach is to distract themselves, and by other people's lives. And most of the time, those are the people who like talking about other people, which is the lowest form of conversation, by the way. So, at least for me. Yeah.
So like what you're saying is like they're uh focused too much on what people
Other
think
people's
about them.
lives.
Is that what you're trying to
What
say?
I'm trying to say is they lack focus on themselves, but at the same time they give too much focus, or put too much attention to other people's lives, because maybe they're bored again, or maybe they just really don't have anything happening in their life. That's why I'm saying, if they take at least 2 hours of a day and meditate and reflect on where they are in life right now, I think that would help a lot.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think. Yeah, go ahead.
right now, I mean, a lot of people are just uh, being distracted by social media, Twitter, and all of thing. We talked about it before as well, which said the safest social media is the Pinterest.
Yeah,
And
actually, that's a
Where
great
yeah,
people
point.
cannot yeah, where
Great
people
point.
cannot comment.
yeah, I mean, this,
I mean, they could
uh,
like it, right? But they couldn't comment.
they
They
cannot
won't.
comment. I mean,
They can't.
they can comment it, but not many
They
people
not
their
many
time
people.
to
Yeah.
comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
But
as to my point is, May's point, like, is there is no time for self reflection.
yeah, I
The,
mean,
You cannot show yourself in the world if you don't even know how to not categorize, but you don't know what type of character you want to portray, kind of thing. You know, it's like there's a very big difference, and this is actually scary. That's why the Black Mirror TV show, or the series Black
yeah,
Mirror series,
yeah,
that was
that's
one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
that's yeah, that's actually
Black Mirror.
scary, because it could happen in the
There's a
future.
possibility. It's
Mm-hmm.
possible. That's the
It
word.
is possible.
That's the
Yes,
scariest
it
word.
is
Yeah, possible.
possible. And nowadays, well, when technology is like higher than when it was, or where it was 10 years ago, it is possible.
Yeah,
My
it's
point of
possible. Look at
saying
the
that,
Pope, right?
yeah.
He just liked a photo. Like
Yeah, but
nobody expected that 10 years ago. Let's be honest, right?
yeah.
Nobody even
So
talked about it
that's
10 years ago.
true. That's
Look at now.
true. So,
Look at the Pope now.
it's
dangers of social media right there for you.
Right, man. I
yeah,
mean,
it is. So,
it is.
it's just, try not to feel like the way, or how many likes that you get is, the judgment of yourself,
You
because
know,
it's
but
not. It's
okay,
really
let me
not.
let me stop you right there. Let's be honest here, right? when we first made our social media account, we and I'm talking about the three of us. Okay, let's be let's keep it 100 on a stack right now.
Mhm.
At some point when we made our social media account,
Mhm.
we were we were too worried about the likes, our post getting likes, right? Is it safe to say
Mhm.
that because when nobody would like your post, it only means one thing: you're boring, right? So
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. Is it safe to say that when you post something and
yeah.
nobody likes it,
At that
it's kind yeah,
moment,
it's kind of an ego thing, right? So
yeah.
when somebody likes your post, hey, somebody likes my post, so there's somebody out there who appreciates what I do, right? But you know, after what, maybe 10 years? How long ago was Facebook made? What was it, like 13 years,
12,
10 years, 12 years?
13 years, something like that. Mhm.
Yeah, when we first got our social media account, we were worried. We were too worried about people,
Liking
liking
it.
our posts, our pictures. But then, years after that, it diminished. You have this sort of idea that like you don't really care anymore if you get likes or not. But
Yep.
all I'm saying is, you know,
That's
like
how I was.
yeah,
Like
that's no,
honestly.
that's how we were.
Yeah, I mean,
We were too worried about people not liking our posts because the more people that like our posts, the more we feed our egos. The more we tell ourselves, "Hey, I'm a funny person. Hey, I'm a significant person to this other person."
main point is, sorry,
There's a point
am I screaming?
there's a point of validation. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, yes,
Validation. You're looking for
yes.
validation from other people to to accept you as a funny person or an interesting person. That's about it. Is it safe to say? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
True. That is very true.
Like
That's why I keep on pointing out the youth, mm, especially this generation's youth, or this, yeah, the youth right now is so caught up with their so-called reputation
but
online.
yeah,
You know, mind you, it's not gonna be your reputation for the rest of your life, especially when you go and get a job. No
yeah.
matter what kind of job it is, it might be a white collar, blue collar job. You would actually understand that there
Yep.
are a lot of people out there that you would meet, and hopefully you will, and try to jump out of that mentality that your social media um, presentation, if I may say, or your character, whatever character you posted on social media, is gonna change for sure. And
Yep.
the what I hope is, because there are some people who did not change at all because they're stuck. And going back to the people that you hate a while ago, Briggs, those are the people who were stuck. That's why they post such comments and videos on social media because they haven't really had that personal connection with the world, or they didn't step out of that comfort zone.
So they're
But
lost.
yeah, what my hope for the youth, the children of the future, or our future rather,
You are the
is
children of the
they
future.
but I just hope that they'll understand that right now is not normal. This
Yeah,
is
it's not
what's
normal.
happening right now is
Yeah.
not normal. This is not how it's supposed to be. Um, I think that's safe to say that there are so many people out there that a human being, being a person, being a human being is not. It's a social being. It's not just like you said a while ago, again, an hour ago. No man is an island, and that is true. That's how you would. actually know yourself more by learning about other people's lives. There's a big difference between learning from other people's lives versus actually living and trying to live in other
Yeah.
people's lives. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. It's just really sad for I feel bad, not even sad. I feel bad for people who were stuck, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. I'd like to point out I don't mind TikTok. I don't mind that app at all. But I think the first video I saw on TikTok was it's like they're lip syncing. That was the right. That was
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
what do you call this? That was trending. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That was trending like last year maybe or 2 years ago. But
I don't know.
yeah, but when I go on my Instagram, I reactivated my Instagram, by the way. When I go to
Oh
my
yay.
Instagram and Twitter, I mean, I'm like, Jesus, when is this gonna stop? I'm like, I'm at that point where, like, what are you guys doing with your lives?
I
Why
mean,
can't you just, yeah,
for me, for example, this the whole TikTok thing is a bit. What's the term I'm looking for?
narcissist?
No, it's a bit toxic. For example, I was like watching sort of clips of TikTok challenges happening in
Yeah,
the
bro, those
social
challenges are
media,
stupid.
and for
I'm not
example, they
those.
some
Yeah,
of them
those
are
are
sweet,
stupid.
some of them are stupid. Like for example, you there was one challenge that was saying like
Bro,
you call your boyfriend or significant other by their name or by different name, and just that's comes if you have a problem with
that's
your if you don't
that's
trust with your
fucked up.
partner before,
That's fucked up.
that just makes their feelings. Yeah.
There's another one. The eat, the Tide Pods. You
Oh
eat
yeah,
them. That was
that's
so
a bit of
I
stupid,
didn't
bro.
even know about this.
Bro, look it up. Look it up on Google.
I don't want
It,
to
it,
look it
it
up.
was a thing.
a
Some
thing.
people would eat the Tide Pods. They would eat
Or
them.
there was one that you jump out of the running car and dance to your favorite tune.
Oh yeah,
You jump.
that was a Running Man. That was a Running Man challenge.
That was.
Yeah.
I don't know if like it just matter of one accident, nobody sees you and just run you over.
Yeah,
That would
just
have been.
you do a little dance, right? Like you're running,
Yeah,
and then there's a background music like
yeah,
"Oh,
you
no, I
dance to it
think
or what?
of you." That one. Yeah, that one was. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know, man. Like
To
that's what I'm
say is I'm
afraid.
glad that I don't have you know, I
Yeah,
don't have Facebook. I do have TikTok, but I'm not an active user of it.
yeah.
Um, but that's what I was trying to say because most of these users are actually the younger people.
But
So,
yeah, I gotta say something.
mm,
But when if we were in this generation as opposed to the previous generation, wouldn't we would we would we do the same as they did?
Probably,
I
yeah,
think right.
probably.
I mean,
yeah,
we gotta give at least the current generation a fair share, because I
yeah,
think
that's true. I mean,
right.
it actually depends on the household that you're in too. That's why
Yeah,
parents out there try to, try to give more attention to what your children are doing
I mean,
because
yeah, hmm
you
of
can't
course,
like,
control them now because everything is in the internet. They can just click on something
bro.
and then
Every
they'll know
post
and see
that you made
everything.
on the internet,
But
bro, it's gonna get dug up.
yeah,
It's gonna get dug up
and that's
one way
one
or another.
that's one important thing too. I mean, you do what you gotta do to get someone or to date someone or whatever, but
Yeah.
just so you know, guys out there, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but guys who send nudes, girls who send nudes, as much as you think that they're private, they're not. Once you actually send it, it's gonna be there forever. Why do you think celebrities have leaked photos out there, even if they thought that it was in private, because they're not. Once you actually use the internet, there's this thing called the dark web, by the way, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people know.
Yeah,
But this
it's like a
dark web and
black
the
market.
high level hackers out there, they can they can hack into your bank account and change the numbers in there. That's how bad it is.
That's
So
wow. That's scary.
yeah, so especially like Snapchat, you think that they're not watching, that it's gonna disappear in like after 24 hours. I'm not even sure right
No,
now, 15 minutes. I
they
don't
have a
know. Even if
database.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if you send it privately, they have a way to get that information.
Mm.
So you just gotta have to be careful, especially with parents out there. There's been a lot of cases that, like 14 years olds get to
Jesus
like
Christ.
somehow chat with like a baby, what do you call sugar daddy, or like a
Mm.
someone like a
Oh my God.
predator. Sugar daddies are actually, I have my own opinions with them, but let's just say the predators, because
Predators are the
that's a
worst.
different thing.
Yeah.
The predators out there that think that w- children are not, well, pedophiles, um they are just out there looking for praise, and most of the children and most of the teenagers that they actually get are teenagers, are the young people who present themselves as the smart ones in the community.
Oh, they would.
My point,
Yeah, they would.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, my
go on.
point is, y- as parents, most of the time you're blinded because your children are the gift from the heavens. But
Okay,
Most
I
perfect
think,
child ever.
yeah, I
that's
think you
perfect.
have to be careful on what they're. That's why I appreciate the parental controls in the internet now. It's like the new thing, which is very good. I'm not the one to say, because I've never had children. I don't have children, but it's just, this is how the world is right now.
Yeah,
Especially with new parents, are not even older parents that didn't really grow up with the internet like us.
uh-huh.
I think it's very important for you to be aware that this is actually happening, that this is the fact, that even your social security number out there is for sale. So you just have to be careful with what your children are. Some, it's inevitable because they are private. You will never know. There
Yep.
are some things that you will never know until something bad happens, knock on wood.
Uh-huh.
But try your best to educate them on what's out there, who not to talk to, what type of people are out there, because I think that's the only thing that you, you can tell them about. You can't tell them because say no, because that's how rebellious children are made. Whenever you say no, you can't do that. Of course, it's gonna spark curiosity, but at the
Yep.
same time, it's just just be careful. Be
So,
careful and
the kids out there listening to this, don't send the nude pics through the internet. Print them, send them through a snail mail. That's much safer.
shut up.
Yeah. Send it. Send it. Send it
Shout out to
personally.
the local post. Yeah, shout out to the local post office
Shout out to the
creating
local
business.
mailman.
Yeah, making business for them right here.
But you know what? It's actually I like receiving letters more than
Yeah,
receiving texts. I
because
Yeah,
don't
but
there's a
know.
sense. Because there's a sense of endearment
Yeah,
you can.
and the
I
person,
within writing letters. Much more
yeah.
mean, I
intimate.
actually
Much more intimate.
know people that basically they find people online to exchange mails with,
Pen pal.
like actual mail. Pen
What?
pal, yeah. Yeah, they do that. They write up something interesting, put something interesting like crafting and stuff, and send each other some sort of
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't send each other nude
Briggs
pictures.
thought it was nudes.
I was like, what?
That's like, what?
You guys are
But
sending. You guys are sending nudes on your
but
mail?
I said it used to happen before. It used to happen
Yeah, I mean,
before.
yeah, it used to, but I was like, wait, what? Am I?
It still exists now?
It's
Sign
just
me
yeah.
up.
Where is this? I must find this. I must locate this.
Need to
No,
find
like
more people.
Oh guys,
no, like
this has been a great conversation.
dude,
It's
like
crazy.
yeah, it's a crazy world we live in now.
Yeah.
With the internet, dude. I think the internet was responsible for everything,
You
right?
know who's responsible? I think what happening right now with the current generation is us, because majority of program developers, majority of businessmen are from our generation. Like uh, Facebook owner, what was his name? Forgot the
Zuckerberg,
name. Zuckerberg.
Sherberger.
Yeah,
Zuckerberg.
he's our age.
He,
Yeah.
He's
is he?
from our age. Yeah,
He's
he's
like
30.
35, right? 35, 38. I think
Yeah,
Same
so.
generation.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. So he was a millennial, just like us.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So whatever happening now to the next generation is mostly our fault because we are experimenting with our ideas and it's not 100% correct. And they are the one actually mostly paying for it.
yeah, I think
Personal
yeah, the
experience.
next
In some
generation
aspect,
are
yeah,
currently
if you
paying
put it
for it.
that way.
But I think what Mark Zuckerberg did was more harm than good. Let's just put it that way.
Well, actually, that's the thing. I'm
Right?
sorry to cut you off, but it was supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be a positive thing, like
Yeah,
especially communication. That's how
yeah,
you communicate with people easily. It's the practicality and the convenience to
yeah.
communicate with people, especially your loved ones from afar. That's the main reason why the internet, or well, not internet, but
Facebook.
social media was, yeah, so any types of social media really,
Yeah,
media, but it's more like of now because it became so popular, and we all know that fame is probably one of the best demons out there. um that's why people initially got attracted to social media, because that's how people get money. So
it's all about
it's
the bread.
supposed to be, yeah, like for example, the like button in everywhere started with Facebook. The
Of
like
course.
button was supposed to uh you know uh, have a positive effect of people on people,
Yeah,
but now it seems like it's like seen as, this is how I am, like especially again the younger generation. If they have less likes, they're gonna think that they don't really exist, because that's their world
yeah.
now.
There's no identity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's this is how they grew up. And I actually agree in the aspect that you said, that it is our generations or who the creators were, because it's some sort of an innovative way to think about it, but yes, it is
we,
also a
we need to
negative
go
thing.
back. We need to go back now. We
No more
need to go
internet for
back.
everyone, which means no podcast.
Podcast. Fuck. Go back. Go
Problem.
back. No. No. Go back. Wrong way. Wrong way. But I
But
think
yeah,
I think everything that exists has a bad side to it. But for us, we just have to be more focused on the positive things, positive side of things. Unless it's Corona, okay? I just want
yeah,
to point that out.
there's
You don't
nothing
want to be
positive.
positive.
And AIDS.
Mm.
Definitely, Jesus Christ. That's
It's,
that's the worst. That's the worst way. That's the worst way of being
AIDS.
positive.
Is it
It's
AIDS?
it's yeah, it's the most terrible way of spreading positivity, if you know what I mean, right?
At
So
least positive people.
unless no, I'm kidding. But I think social media has really, you know, how do I phrase this? Has made a statement on each and every one of us, because on social media we have to. It's a platform where some of the people would seek validation from others, from their superiors, from their people who who they look up to, and it's a platform where they express themselves, right? They would show off their accomplishments, show off their what they're eating and what they like. And I think, yeah, it does have a bad side. It's where nudity, whatever it is. But one thing that I can say, it brought us close together. You know, it
Uh,
rekindled.
that's
Yeah,
yeah. That's what we want
what we
as
want.
the effect of social media is supposed to be, and not the other way around.
Yeah, the
So if you
first
are
social media.
using So if you are using social media and before you post, try to think before you post it or write it or whatever. Try to think about the people who can be affected by what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Because even if you think that it's right, it is a social, it's already in the name itself. It's social media. People can see it,
people can see
people
it.
can comment about it, people can be affected from it. So,
So think before you tap it.
Yeah,
yup.
think before you tap it.
Pun intended.
Yeah, just look at the Pope, guys. Just look at the Pope. He tapped it twice. You know what I mean? He tapped it twice. That's why he liked it. But
You guys, I
I get,
think.
I cannot stress this enough, bro. Shout out to the Pope, right? Shout out to the Pope for keeping it real. I'm gonna say it over and
Religion.
over again. I'm gonna keep it 100 on a stack for the Pope, guys. Yeah, shout out to the
At least,
Pope.
at least
I
it was
have no
a
comment.
legal age.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I know, right? Dude, it's gonna be way
Oh my
more
god.
fucked up. It's gonna be way more
Oh my
fucked up
god.
if that was like an underage teen. Oh my
Oh
god!
gosh.
Imagine, dude. Imagine the
Whew,
firestorm that's gonna happen throughout the Vatican. Jesus Christ!
gosh.
I think at that point, if that happened, Jesus Christ might as well come down from heaven, and then he goes, "Hey man, like I was expecting more from you, so come on, what are you doing? You're the Pope, for God's sake, for my
Oh
father's sake."
god.
Okay, imagine if that happened. The the Pope liking an underage, girl's picture,
Uh,
and then Jesus Christ would just come down from the
that's
That's
heavens,
cool,
and
bro. That's cool,
that's
bro.
that's fucking cool, bro. No, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up to begin with. But you know, uh, with that being said, guys, yeah, I think we need. Yeah, I think it's
up.
yeah, I think we should end on that note, on a high note.
I know.
Being high note, being social media is just one
Oh, I
fucking
thought you were
shithole.
talking about the Pope.
I
How
mean,
was it?
we could talk about it. I think we have,
No, no,
I
no, no,
think
no, no, no. Let's go back. Okay, I
go
think
back,
that's a
go
good
back,
way.
go
Go
back.
back, go back, go
Yeah, I think we should end on that high note,
back.
and I think we could agree that social media has its positive and negative uh, ways of uh,
Use it well.
yep, of course. And with that
Stay in
note,
school. Don't do
that note,
drugs. Not unless it's
guys,
prescribed.
yeah. On that note, I'd like to end the podcast. And everybody, Maii and Mehrdad. Okay, if you guys are watching right now, their social media handler is at the bottom of their pictures. If you want to follow them, and shout
Beware.
outs, yeah,
Just
shout
kidding.
outs to
Don't cancel us,
um.
please.
Don't cancel us, please. Jesus Christ, no. Don't cancel us, please. Jesus. And wow. And with that note being said, you guys want to say something? Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
dude.
starting my day. So good night, guys.
Yeah,
bye.
dude. Like,
Quick.
um, What else? Hold on one second.
Whatever and wherever you are in the world, just make sure that you are careful and you are aware with your surroundings and be aware with yourself. And again, try to sleep as much as you can. Like what I said
Mhm.
last time, sleep is the key.
Sleep is really and easily the key. And with that note, guys, thank you for watching our podcast. What time is it? Every Saturdays, page time. You know, shout outs to the Pope again for keeping it real. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye, y'all.